Hi, this is Dominic Keating. I played Lieutenant Malcolm Reed on Enterprise, as you probably know, and you are listening to the NX 7062 podcast. Enjoy.
Yes, you are listening to the NX 7062 podcast. Welcome. What is up with this green screen? It was perfect before I got here, and now it's screwing up. All right. Well, you know what? This is what happens with live. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. All right, let's just hope none of the cats decide to make an appearance. War Dog, Sean, Muhammad, look at all the wonderful people that are here, and I know why you are all here, so I promise that this whole little intro thing that I always do is going to be short, sweet, and to the point. Robert, I do have a message for you. Rod Roddenberry did answer your question on last week's show. If you've had a chance to look, great. If you haven't, the simple answer is yes. But go watch the rest of the show and he'll explain to you the amazing things that are going to be happening with his dad's archives. And I think you'll really be thrilled to hear what Rod had to say last week. Hello, Lasso. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, real quick. How the hell did I not know that there was new Prodigy out? I was watching Star Trek and Chill for a little bit last Friday, and they were talking about new Prodigy, and it seems there are a couple episodes of new Prodigy, so that's going to be something we're talking about next week. I promise. I promised short and sweet to get to my very, very, very special guest. The other thing that I wanted to say, because you know me, I love my degrees of separation from Star Trek. Bob Picardo was on an episode of CSI Las Vegas a couple weeks ago, and I watched it. I'm really behind on like all of my TV viewing. So Bob Picardo was on an episode of, and I knew his face. I'm like, I was multitasking. I look up for a second. I'm like, wait, I know that face. And then he showed up, and spoiler alert, he did it, because you don't have Bob Picardo come into an episode of CSI Las Vegas right towards the end and not have him be the culprit. So, yeah, fall down and go boom. Welcome to the world of live podcasting. No, that actually wasn't a cat. That was just a poorly placed little thing I was using to hold up one corner of my green screen. And it went all by itself. Then again, I should just blame everything on my cats. Usually I do. All right. So I think we're good. That is absolutely all I wanted to say. The Bob Picardo thing, the Prodigy thing. And now what you guys, I've got all you guys very patiently, anxiously waiting with your questions at the ready. Make sure your tray tables are up and locked. Your seat backs are in the right position, are in the upright position. Because guess what? Yes, it's a green screen. We're doing a pre-flight check with the Shuttlepod Show. Woo! All right. This is, oh, somebody's on mute. Let's see. Unmute your mic, guys.
At us, were we on mute?
We were on mute.
And you're the tech guy, right? Everybody, I want to introduce you to Mark Cartier and Erica LaRose from the Shuttlepod Show. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! Oh, look, see, we're already... I just put you guys up and we're already getting rave reviews.
Oh, cool.
Is that good? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Nancy also says hi to Mark and Erica. Erica's face.
Hi, Nancy. Hi, Sean.
Oh, hi, Nancy. I know you from Patreon.
There you go. And Sean says hi. Now, Erica, you all know as the third host of the Shuttlepod Show. But the other face you might not know, but you may know his voice from all those times that he shouted out the right answers to the trivia questions. Because that's Mark. He is the producer and the director and the off-camera guy that's answering all the questions.
He's also eating pie.
I'm also eating pie.
Is it pecan pie? I have to add. Nope, blueberry.
Blueberry pie. I've gotten into a pie baking habit of late.
You've made that pie?
Yeah, from scratch.
Oh my God. Is it good? Erica, is it good?
Oh, his pie is fantastic.
Okay, yeah, you don't ask the cook. You should always ask somebody else.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Everyone likes his pie. And he makes blueberry, cherry, peach, apple.
Oh wow, bon appetit! Look at that. Everybody loves your Erica.
I have a pie baking problem.
My hat is so popular these days.
Oh, what's on your hat?
Like I get a comment at least once a day.
That's a University of Minnesota hat.
Yeah.
That Erica wears. I went to the University of Minnesota and gave her that hat.
Aw, well,
I like it.
well, it's funny because I was thinking, what?
Good color on you is what it is.
Yeah.
It is good. What I was, I was, what am I going to wear tonight? These guys are coming on the show. First of all, I do have one of my very official Shuttlepod Show pins that were made.
Robert
wow,
Plant.
nice.
Oh,
Hey,
do
look
you?
at all the comments.
Oh, let me see. Yeah, we're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out how to do this. We're amateurs when it comes to doing this kind of thing. So we're trying to figure out how to do it right.
I JR would love to do this for you. So you and I are going to talk after the show. I'll put you in touch with JR because he made these amazing pins. He also made some from.
Those pins are great.
Aren't they awesome? But see, I figured if I wore the pin, then I could get away with wearing my Patriots jersey because Erica and I are fellow New Englanders.
Woo!
Woohoo! Massachusetts, baby, but still all part of the great Northeast.
Golden Gophers, yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Golden Gophers, yes. No chocolate pie. Chocolate pie is good too, Johnny, but you know what? Pumpkin pie. What about this time of year? Have you made a pumpkin pie yet?
That's what he's doing next, I think.
Pumpkin pie. I think I'm going to make it tomorrow. I have the makings. I'm not going to make it from scratch. I'm not going to
You're not going to kill the pumpkin?
Yeah. I'm going to get Trader Joe's pumpkin filling.
Oh, yeah. You know what? It's all about the crust, though. If you make a good crust, it's okay.
It is all about the crust.
Let's see. Hold on.
Also has a good crust.
Trader Joe's has an amazing frozen crust. If you're ever in a rush and you don't want to make the crust, Trader Joe's crust.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so Sean is asking about the tree.
Are
we talking about wash?
Wash. Oh.
Yeah, I saw really. He wasn't cared for as well as you guys had said.
Oh, I'll just go get him.
Let's go grab him. Yeah, she's gonna grab Wash right now. Wash is fine. Wash has been having a bout of small pot over water underwater disorder. He's in too small of a pot. He's been watered a little too much and watered a little too.
Is he perked up? Look at that. We've got the 5th member of the Shuttlepod Show making a cameo.
There he is.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, Wash.
Wash.
Let's see.
That's interesting. Yeah. Hello, Mohammed Noor. Nice to see you. I see you all the time here. You're awesome. Robert Plant.
War Dogheim. Okay, so Mohammed, this is kind of where my first question was going to go about. How did we end up getting such an amazing thing as the Shuttlepod Show?
What is the question? How did we hook up with the show?
Yeah, well, how did you guys hook up with Connor and Dominic to do the show?
So Connor is my friend. So I was an executive at Paramount 20 years ago when Enterprise was shooting. And a girl I was dating at the time was good friends with the Connor's then girlfriend turned wife. So we met a long time ago, and then we reconnected about 6-7 years ago. Yeah, we did some work together. He came and did a movie or two for me as a motion picture producer, and then I don't know. He's like one of my closest friends in the world. It was my birthday yesterday, and
oh, happy birthday!
Thank you. And I was thinking today how it's the first birthday in years where Connor wasn't there.
Aww.
And it was no fault of his or mine or whatever. It was just Connor is a very close, very long time friend. And about a year and a half ago, he was like, "Hey, have you ever done podcasts or anything like that? I'm kind of thinking about doing a podcast." And I was like, "Holy shit." are, do not do a podcast without me. I assure you that we can do it better together than than you just doing it on your own. And no offense, Connor, you're a brilliant, smart, amazing man, but
There are limits.
No, it's just his experience is different.
Well, that's what I meant. Yeah, he's amazing in front of the camera. Yeah.
Content, his profession is being awesome, and
right,
attractive and charismatic.
And he is all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he is those things. He's all three. Are you trying to get him a? Oh, there we go.
I want to get him some more screen time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, you're on the floor.
You're getting a lot of birthday wishes. No, that's amazing. I've always thought Connor and Dominic would do great.
Yeah, and I also met Dominic 20 years ago as well. But Connor reintroduced me to Dominic about 2 years ago. And in talking about this show, it was just sort of, we had similar goals. The idea for the show was more than just a podcast. We wanted to do a show, something that could evolve into something bigger for the community if the community was responding to it. That potentially that we could, sell to a streamer or get, a bigger audience for. And our objectives are to be a bigger show, to grow into a bigger show than to just stay. We love the podcast part of it. There's a freedom to it, but we have some bigger objectives. We want to do live events. You and I, Stephanie, the three of us have talked about some of the things that we want to do as members of this community. That's more than just being a podcast. So,
all right. I don't know if you guys have made up your decision on this, but what time? Do you guys know what time the show is going to be on the 27th?
Oh, that's a really good question. We're working on it right now.
Inquiring minds want to know.
So, Stephanie, thanks to you and all your fans here can thank you for this. We are working really hard on making it a live event. The 27th, we're working hard for all of us, including Dominic and Connor, to be live on YouTube and to participate in a live premiere chat when season 2 premieres with our very special guest, Walter Koenig. So anyone who wants to watch it with us on the 27th will be there to chat with you in the chat room. We'll be there to share stories, to whatever. Stephanie has been a big part of helping us realize that. So thank you, Stephanie.
Oh, well, you're very welcome. I'm happy to help. And I'm happy to help you.
We don't have a time yet. And there's a chance that we might surprise you guys with an earlier.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
See, you guys are getting some exclusive stuff. There's been some behind the scenes conversations.
Yeah, only Stephanie.
Yeah, but Stephanie's keeping her mouth shut. Thank you, War Dog. I love you guys too. Thanks. Yeah, there is a lot coming down the pike for the Shuttlepod Show. There's going to be new content. We talked about you wanting to have more interaction with the community.
Oh, big time. Yeah. We want to be a community show. We want our show. So going forward, we're going to really make it a objective for a lot of the members of the Star Trek community to be a part of the show. Birthdays, questions, video questions. We're going to have fans of the show on Zoom or video chat calling in. We're really working hard to make it a community thing rather than just an interview show where we sit down, do an interview, and put it on YouTube. We don't want to do that. We want to. You want to be interactive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to make it more 3-dimensional.
Yeah.
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 All right. So
you've got 3 personalities like Erica and Connor and Dominic. you really want to, put them in front of the community and
Absolutely.
watch them,
Right.
do their thing, because they're all good at that.
Yep. Okay. So what can you tell us? I know that you guys are doing something very special for the patrons. But what little tidbits can you tell the general public about the interview with Walter and how it went, and anything you want to share?
You know saying about Walter?
He is really witty, right?
Yes. You would not know he was 86 years old.
Yeah, and
I just turned 43, and I was like, oh my God.
Honestly,
I feel like an old guy compared to him.
He just had, and like I wouldn't say this about just anyone, but he had the best energy ever. Like there wasn't a moment where I was like, he's not awesome. Like he is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
Yeah. And he was a big fan of the show. He was really
yeah.
Oh, that's great. I know.
With us. Yeah. He was very generous with his time, and speaking of Walter, we have a special in the works that includes Walter going forward, and I won't give you all the details, but we're going to be doing something. We're trying to think of all the things that we can do for our Patreon members, especially, and we're working on a special with Walter right now, and we're going to announce it very soon. So.
My big question, and if you can say anything, did my question make it to the final edit, or don't you know yet?
Your question was about the character that Walter came with. All right, your question. The answer is, while in the middle of interviewing Walter, I happened to do one last look at our Patreon inbox and our website inbox to make sure that we had caught as many possible Walter questions as we can have. And yours popped up. And I
slid right in.
Literally as he had answered his like 6th fucking question or something. And I had to copy and paste it and text it to Eraa, who was on the other side, who was on stage with them, asking them the questions. So it was the very last question asked. Yes, your question was literally the last question received and asked.
The reason I hushed you is because before you posted on Twitter that my question had made it, when I said, "Oh darn, I think I missed it," somebody wanted to know what my question was. And then you turned around and you said, "Oh no, you made it." So my reply to that person was, "You want to know what I asked? You got to watch the show."
You gotta watch the show.
So don't spoil it, because I will tell you this, it was a non-Star Trek question.
You're a master of anticipation. We could learn from you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to build it up so no spoilers. Nancy wants to know, where'd Nancy's question go? Eraa, how did you find your way into the pod?
Oh. Mark, would you like to answer that?
I'm in love with Eraa.
Love the honest answers here.
That's really sweet.
And I knew that Connor and I could do a show about Star Trek. I knew that Connor and Dominic and I could do a show about Star Trek. And I also knew that any show with me as the sort of because I'm a Star Trek fan, first and foremost. I got into producing movies and television because of being a Star Trek fan growing up. I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to make that. And my bucket list is to work on Star Trek. So I worked at Paramount largely because of Star Trek. My first job at Paramount was for Carrie McCluggage, who was actually the boss of Star Trek Enterprise. He was the boss of Paramount Television for many years. I just was concerned that if me, Connor, and Dominic were doing a show together, that it was going to be very man-heavy, if that makes sense. That we were going to be like a boys' club and like giggle like a bunch of idiot boys around a campfire. And we really wanted somebody who could counter our energy, who was charming, charismatic, who can kind of get along with anybody and charm anybody, to be there to.
He's not biased at all, Erica.
Well, she also knows Connor. Like,
Yeah.
I did a movie with Connor, and we spent a lot of time together, chatting about life in the car when we were driving from here to there. And
would that be the one that I watched over Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah, you watched Dark Harbor for Halloween.
I did.
You know, I've been friendly with him ever since then. So that was
right. All right.
And I've done. I think I just mentioned it to you, Stephanie, in a text that I did a radio show. And,
yep.
I've done other hosting gigs. So this, it was close to home for me to do something like this.
Yeah. All right. Eric on the show with Anthony. He'd mentioned an anime show he's planning. Did it ever come to fruition? Mark, don't feel embarrassed. I'm in love with Dominic. Okay, Sen.
What?
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. It was like, it started out with Erica and ended with I'm in love with Dominic. Not that I'm arguing. Listen, I am the last person to argue with anybody that says they're in love with Dominic, but Anthony's plans, I talked to him a bit in Vegas about it, and you just have to follow him. I promised him this. You have to follow him on social for any announcements. That's what I was told in August, because I really wanted to be able to talk to people about it. And he would just like us all to wait for him to say anything. So just follow him on social.
Thank you guys for the lovely comments.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comments here that I wanted to say hi
Thank
to.
you.
Yes, no. Yeah. No, Eric, I think you're great. Sometimes you have to wrangle those two.
Yeah.
Because they go off on their little tangents. But I mentioned...
I let them do their thing on this last show since they had a lot to...
Right. I do want to say, when it comes to Dark Harbor, I watched it right when it first dropped on Amazon Prime. I've been eagerly awaiting it ever since Connor and the pictures for Maine and everything. So
pictures of us.
What?
Yeah, those pictures from Connor. A bunch of them had us in them.
I was just interested in the scenery in Maine. Sorry, guys. But no, it was just funny because I didn't know you guys back then, and then I did my first rewatch this past Halloween, and I saw Eraa, and I went, wait, I know that face now.
Yeah.
But if you guys haven't seen Dark Harbor, it's definitely worth a watch. I've said it before, and I'll say it again since we brought it up. There's twists in it, lovely, unexpected things. So it's definitely worth a watch. And the scenery was incredible. The island was definitely part star of the movie.
It was a special island. I've never been.
Yeah.
It was
Isleboro, Maine, and Penobscot Bay.
It was. It had it was gorgeous, but it did have a natural creepiness to it.
It was haunted.
It was creepy.
It was haunted. You guys were talking about that before. It was haunted.
Connor and I lived in a farmhouse during the shooting, and the farmhouse was absolutely haunted.
Yeah. I was in a haunted house as well, actually.
Oh, hi, Tiffin. How are you, Tiff?
Oh.
Tiff does all the artwork for our show. She's amazing. We love her.
Hey, Tiffany.
Yeah, those pictures are amazing.
Hi, Margaret. Oh my God. Hi, Margaret.
Yeah, look, see, you guys are all.
You're in Germany, aren't you? I don't know. I think Margaret.
Yes, she is. She is. We've spoken on Twitter a few times. She's in Germany. I think there's somebody else in here from Germany. So.
Connie says, will you have Scotland on? The answer is, God, we hope so. We're working on it. One of the things that we've done as a show is we've tried to figure out how to get the show right. How do we get it good? How do we work out all the kinks and figure out what's working, what's not, before we take advantage of our relationships and try to get the big
guns,
Patrick Stewart and William Shatner for episodes 1 and 2. And we're very lucky that Connor and Dominic have remained so close to guys like John Billingsley and you know, Braun and Praga, and you know, it was even just having like Rick Berman was amazing. Like,
Right.
they've stayed close to the guests that we've had. So these are people who've come on understanding that we're still working out the kinks of the show, which we're really very grateful for. So yes, we really hope to get anyone in the Star Trek world that you would want to see. It's our goal ultimately to have them on the show.
Yep. So you guys are all over the socials, so absolutely I'm sure you're taking requests
Yes.
for people. So they can email you through shuttlepodshow.com. They can reach out to you on the socials if they have requests for anybody that they want to see, because you guys are branching out. That's one of the things about the new season, is that you're going beyond the Enterprise family and reaching out into the Star Trek family as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Shatner is.
I'm trying to read your.
I know they go by pretty.
We're not used to reading the live feed while this is going on.
I know you guys gotta get in this habit, because this is what it's going to be like when you do live premieres on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a special skill that we're gonna have to, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, it's funny because sometimes I'll be doing this and I'll think of something, or I'll have a question and I'll try and research it while I'm talking, and I know nobody wants to watch my resting research phase.
I want to watch you on Google.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got my core chat pack 2.0 that they've decided to call themselves, and usually if I get stumped on something, I'll go, somebody answer the question for me, and then a few minutes later an answer will pop up in my chat.
Hi, Connie.
Northeast Ohio fan here. Hi, Erica and all. Love the. Okay.
Oh, new viewer. Love that. Thank you so much, Becky. Thank you for joining us. Oh, here's the big one. Has anybody been in touch with Jolene?
That's another thing. I can't say too much about it, but the answer is yes. It is our objective and goal to get Jolene onto the show.
Well, you know, when she showed up at Star Trek Day last year, there was a big buzz going around thinking maybe, you know, they have plans for her and they're kind of bringing her back into the fold. So
Right there. There's Archer. There's
Yeah.
Dominic. There's Anthony.
Yeah.
We're just noticing your background. I'm just noticing your background.
Yeah. Welcome to the bridge.
Yeah.
Usually depending on how my chair is, you can't see Anthony. And then Scott and Jolene, T'Pol, and Archer are coming off the turbo lift. So yeah, I was telling Erica before the show starts that that I just feel like the way my chair is and everything, if I sit like this, I feel like I'm on the bridge.
Oh yeah, there you go. Hey,
Yeah.
Becky, it looks like you're from Facebook here. Is that
Yes.
Are you
Yes.
watching on Facebook right now?
Yeah, like I said, you can see this is, by the way, not only is this a live thing with these guys, it is now a tutorial about using StreamYard. Everybody that's got you can tell who's from where, because they have either the little red icon next to them for YouTube,
They have
or they have the face. Yeah.
So Becky and Faith Kim seem like they're both on Facebook.
They're very good.
Did you find us on our Facebook post, or I'd be curious?
Oh, Faith is a longtime viewer of the show.
Good.
And I think with all the advertising we did between your stuff and my stuff and the Enterprise fan page, so I think that's how we got some of these brand new Facebook people. Yeah. The only challenge is with StreamYard, which for those of you that don't know, is the platform that I'm using, which allows me to simulcast to YouTube and Facebook, is that we can see all the comments, but the YouTubers only see the YouTube chat and the Facebook people only see the Facebook chat unless I pull it up on the screen.
Yeah.
Sean heard about tonight on Patreon to answer that question.
All right, cool.
And thank you. War Dog's my biggest fan. I love you. Aww. Thanks, War Dog. Yeah, he bought one of my hats. I actually have a hat that says NX706 too. He owes me a picture. Becky is coming to us from Missouri. Okay, Connie said she sent a picture of her with a mug. So
we'll put it on our stuff if you send it to shuttlepodshow@gmail.com, and we'll put it on our website and on our social media. If you purchased our merchandise from our website and you send us a picture of it, we'll post it. That would be amazing. Yeah, we really appreciate it. That helps.
All right. Thanks, Ward. See, he saw both. He saw the Patreon for you and YouTube for me. Does anyone know?
I'm looking, you had a list, Stephanie, and I'm looking for it.
The list of stuff that I wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I wanted to pull it up here, and
yeah, no, I have it too. When you rudely interrupted me with a phone call earlier about figuring out how this whole thing worked. As far as conventions in the Great Lakes, I don't know of any conventions in the Great Lakes.
Where in the Great Lakes area are you, Sandra?
But I was making my notes for
Minneapolis and Detroit. There are conventions. I think Cleveland has one too.
Oh.
So Canada.
Isn't because I know you guys are looking to kind of get out into the real world to meet people.
Yeah, definitely. It's most certainly our plan now that we've sort of stood our show up on its legs to try to attend these conventions. One, get Connor and Dominic to attend all of these events instead of just some of them, and to go with them and to shoot specials. There's a convention in Iowa. In about a year, they've invited us to come and do a show from their convention.
Oh, sweet.
It's like the 49th year they've done a Star Trek convention there or something. And I forget the name of it, or I would shout it out. But it's on our board right now. And you can see some of this shit, but there's a big dry erase board right here. We're trying to get a lot of these live events lined up so that we can go with Connor and Dominic and Erica and set up and do an episode from there, or just do a special, do a behind the scenes series of shorts where you can see what we've been doing and who we've been interacting with and what fans are there and what kind of cosplay they've been doing and all that kind of fun stuff. Really engage and get to see the world, get to see where people live.
Connie, if you send it through Patreon, maybe you should send it where Mark said, which was to their Gmail account. It's probably a better bet. She said she sent it. She said she sent the picture already, but she said she's.
Is there a mailbox on Patreon?
Yeah, there is.
We have an inbox on Patreon, but it's monitored by a number of different people.
Yes, Karen, it's time. It's time. Come on back out. Love your icon, by the way. Love the TARDIS. And if that's Doctor Number 10 in front of it, then I love you even more. Sandra, you missed Chicago, and now they moved the official convention to Seattle, so that's going to be a little bit of a harder go. NX Zone wants to know.
Oh, hi NX. You're also from Germany, I believe.
Yeah.
I've gotten to know you via the social medias. You post a lot of stuff for us. You're really sweet. Thank you for being such a big fan. We really appreciate it.
It's shuttlepodshow@gmail.com, right?
Shuttlepodshow@gmail.com. Yeah.
I am putting it in the chat.
Is there a new intro for season 2, or is it the same? It's currently the same. We might change it, but I don't know. It's probably just going to stay the same. We kind of like it. It's cute. And it's Gary Graham's band.
Yeah, gotta love Sons of Kirk.
Yeah, Sons of Kirk.
There you go. Then we will be seeing you in Seattle. I know I'm planning on going. And hopefully you guys will be there.
My sister's in Seattle. Her brother's in Seattle. I go to Seattle usually twice a year until COVID. So, yeah, we'll be excited to go to Seattle.
Yeah, that would be great. When is the one in Seattle?
It's over Labor Day or Memorial Day weekend, so it's the end of May. It's a 3-day. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, nice.
It's happening too fast.
Yeah, see, we're gonna work on that. You've got maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, that's right, Margaret. You met Connor and Dortmund when they were over in Germany.
And Dortmund.
Dortmund. My German's bad.
Ich wollte ein Stück Pizza gehen. Das Kino ist gerade und ich besuche Freunde Wochenende, ja.
Yeah, you know what? I was born over there and I can't do that, so.
You were born in Germany?
I was born in Stuttgart. My dad was in the service.
You were in the, okay, yeah, and the
Army brat. Army brat.
There
Yep.
you go.
Yeah, but I was only there for 6 months. But
I
still,
learned German out of respect for the culture.
yeah. Have you been? It's a beautiful country.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's
It's
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I missed my train to Germany. It was very sad.
From where?
From Nancy, France.
My parents did a weekend in Paris. They took a
And there was not another one coming until the next day.
that's what I love about Europe. My parents lived in Germany and they just did a weekend in Paris. It's like,
Yeah.
must be nice.
It's really cool that way.
Yeah, it is. I haven't been to Europe since forever ago. I really love to go back, and the Star Trek convention is just probably the best excuse to go back.
Where the fuck is your email with your questions?
I don't know, but the next question is about upcoming guests.
Oh.
Who can you talk about? Who can't you talk about?
Who's it from? Is that from you?
That's my question.
That's your question.
Oh.
My question. I thought that's what you were looking for. That's my question. I sent you a list of things I was going to talk about, and my list of things to talk about is upcoming guests.
Our next 3 guests in the next week ish are Andy Robinson, who played Garrick on Deep Space Nine. Nicole DeBoer, who played Ezri Dax on Deep Space Nine, and Nana Visitor, obviously, who I don't even need to introduce.
Oh my god! I sense a theme.
No, I actually am really trying to avoid giving the sense of a theme. The only thing that you should read into is the idea that we want to be a Star Trek show instead of limiting ourselves to Star Trek Enterprise.
No, it's a great lineup of guests. It's just 3 in a row from Deep Space Nine. That's not a bad thing.
That's not bad.
It's not.
We've had the DS9 guests already. We've had at least 2 or 3 of them. Jeffrey Combs.
Well, Jeff's been everywhere.
Yeah. So
You cover almost every show.
Gary was in an episode of
Voyager.
Yeah.
He was in a couple episodes. I don't know if it was 1 or 2.
Vaughn was in.
Right.
In a bunch of Next Generation and
yeah. Okay, Nancy, I just want to say that I know that was a typo that you meant to say of guests, but OG works too since they were part of the original 5.
Yeah, it does.
So it works too.
But we're working on, guys. We're working on George Takei. We're working on the great William Shatner. We're working on anyone that we can from Star Trek. William Shatner has released a biography recently, so we're trying to get onto his publicity circuit.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we would that's the kind of guest where we would retool our show for the guest. But it's all very blah. What did it say? Trains in Germany. Oh, I can tell stories there. They're terrible.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Well, that's one thing. I mean, that's the thing about the difference between what you do and what I do. I mean, there's a lot of differences, obviously, but one of them is that I love doing this live thing, even with green screens falling over and cats running through. Erica knows when you come from a radio background, sometimes live is just more fun.
Yeah. It is.
But it's tough in the guest department because it's kind of like, well, are you free at dinner time on the West Coast? Because I really want you to come I mean, I do offer to tape, but it's just, and I have taped 1 or 2, but with you guys, at least, if William Shatner says, well, I can only make it this day on this time, you guys tape. So it makes it a little bit easier to work around your guest schedule.
Yeah. It would be really tough if we were trying to do it live.
Yeah.
Just for the reasons you're saying. But my radio show is on Monday mornings, and so sometimes it was a little rough because it's been a long weekend. I was like, oh.
You have a long weekend?
Yeah.
That's all very surprising.
Radio is so much fun, though. That's why I do this. I started out doing actual terrestrial radio. And long story short, I missed it, and now here I am. Oh, that's why War Dog asked me for... Hold on, let me see if I could do this. War Dog asked for my email address because he finally sent me a picture of him in the hat, and I want to see if I can share it. Hold on. Give me 1 sec.
Trek is life.
Trek is life. Oh my God, that's a T-shirt, War Dog. I hope you don't, War Dog Heim. I hope you don't mind if we sell that. Trek is life.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if I could do this.
I'm opening up my notes here.
Mark, that's one thing about Mark. He is constantly
T-shirt.
Yeah, here we go. He is you are the consummate note taker.
I do take a lot of notes.
All right, can you all see that? Cool. Doesn't it look great in that hat?
Your hat. That's 7062. That's nice. That's
Isn't
great.
that cool?
Yeah.
Yes, it is my hat. Thanks so much for sending that. Yeah, I have a besides JR, who's amazing and makes pins, I have another friend that does the shirts for Chase Masterson, the Pop Culture Hero Coalition, Be Kind. He does all of her shirts. He does shirts for a ton of different people. And he was really awesome because I told him I was having problems getting hats like this on Teespring. It was being a pain in the ass. And I said something to Raymond about it, and he goes, "What do you want?" And I told him exactly what I wanted. And now all of my stuff is on Teespring except the shirts, and except the hats. I mean, I have a Teespring store, which is really cool because you can design anything you want. But then for Raymond, the hats are on punkarmy.net. And you can find them there, and they're awesome, and War Dog looks amazing in it. So I always appreciate that support, so thank you very much. And what is 7062? When I decided to name my podcast, it's not like you guys are moving into more Star Trek. Aww.
You didn't like the first one.
It's like the kiss cam at the ballpark.
Will you marry me?
I could actually put that up here.
And then you'd have to say yes.
You can say yes many times, right?
So while you're putting up the "Will you marry me?" there it is. Will you marry me? Oh.
Yes.
Oh, you said yes.
You said yes, and it's, you know what? This is like on YouTube posterity. You can't take it back now.
You can't take it back. You're stuck.
Another exclusive. But let me finish.
I'm flustered.
Let me ask. Well, you guys be flustered. Okay, so when I decided to do this podcast and make it all Star Trek, Enterprise has been my favorite show. It's amazing. I love it. The show is not strictly Enterprise, but I wanted to give it a cool name, and I wanted to do NX, and I wanted to do NX that was something meaningful. So the 7062 are just numbers that are meaningful to me.
Oh.
So that's where I came up with it. They're just numbers that are meaningful to me, and I thought they.
Why or no?
What?
Why?
Nope.
Okay, you don't.
Nope.
If you don't mind, Stephanie, I'm just going to read your little list of things that we were going to chat about.
She's stuck now.
Yeah, she's stuck now. I saw that too. I didn't want to
say it.
I didn't want to call you out, but
Sean,
you are
you're so
stuck.
Funny. Oh my god.
Sean, you're right. She is stuck. She's been
totally stuck. Oh wait, hold on.
The stuck pod.
Trip's Not Dead. That's correct. Oh, Tiffany, yes. Trip's Not Dead is amazing. That's our bestseller. Hands down, by far. That's the number one thing.
Well, do you guys watch Lower Decks? Do you watch Lower Decks?
Not yet. I just started season 2 of Picard.
Okay. Well, spoiler. This is a spoiler alert. I might have told you guys this, but this is a spoiler. In one of the episodes this season, they basically put into canon that Section 31 will fake somebody's death.
I've heard of this. Yeah.
Right. And since that's what they did in the books, it's canon now.
Trip's Not Dead.
Trip's Not Dead.
Trip's Not Dead. So you made a little list here. Some of this might be useful, if you don't mind, if your peeps don't mind. Any of you mind if we go through this list?
They don't care. They're all here for you guys. Nobody
the
cares.
changes we're making for the new season. Are all of you familiar with season 1? Everyone's watched the show, I assume, right? Maybe
Not all.
not all, but most. Some.
Not at all. Oh, maybe he's responding.
Not at all.
I'm
Sean,
sure most of them have.
make it so.
There you go.
Okay,
For
so
those of you that haven't, you've got a couple weeks to catch up before the new season.
I've watched every episode. War Dogheim, you're the best.
Nancy,
You're the best. We're amateurs at this. We've never done anything like this before. To do a show on YouTube and to try to build a fan base online as opposed to the career experience that we have, which is motion pictures and television. This is all very new, and realizing very early on that being as interactive as we possibly can be with the community, and it's a bigger community than we could create. It's a community that we're trying to be a part of. So learning about the community and trying to figure out our place in it and how we can best serve the community by participating in it and grow it. That's what we've been learning, and the changes that we're making in season 2 are all about being involved in the community, participating and growing it. And Star Trek is a magical thing, and anyone who's seen any Star Trek interviews knows the answers that everyone has about why Star Trek is great. The positive vision about the future and all that. So our biggest changes are about integrating as much community interactivity as we possibly can. And Stephanie, as you and I have talked about, doing things like live events and having community members being a part of each of our shows, doing live shows so that people can participate and ask their questions live and be there. We're trying to figure out how to get fans there while we're shooting the show, not just like watching online after we've done it. So there's a lot of that going on.
I want to do the voiceover that says filmed before a live studio audience.
Or a live studio audience. Yeah, that's great. No. I would love you to do it. I'm glad that you asked, but we've already promised that to somebody else.
Ah!
Anything you want to share about Walter Koenig, including the Patreon special? Okay. Walter Koenig was our Chekhov, the amazing human being, was our first guest for season 2. He's remarkable. And his interview, I really hope, sort of sets the bar for what we're trying to do going forward. One of the things that we have to do to keep the show alive is to figure out how to do things like Patreon, where we serve a membership. Because one of the things about doing the show that we learned very quickly is just how complicated doing a show like this is and how expensive it is. And when we first launched it, we were like, well, we're just going to pay for it out of our pocket and see how it goes. See if there's a response from the community, and then we'll figure out how to pay for it if it's panning out. The response was way overwhelming, something we didn't expect. But the cost was also overwhelming, something we didn't expect. So we have to figure out how to offset those costs. And part of what we're trying to do is show how the sausage is made. Behind the scenes videos, pictures, introducing everyone to the support staff that's necessary to make this happen. Just show just how complicated and expensive it is. And it's not our objective to make a lot of money on this show. We all are professionals in this industry, and she's an actress and a producer. I'm a producer and a writer and a director. Connor and Dominic are actors, and we have careers. The goal for this show is to satisfy a creative calling to participate in this community. And our goal financially is to make the show sustainable financially, and then out of our, if there's profit, to what we're doing. We want to contribute charitably to organizations like John Billingsley's
Hollywood Food Coalition.
Hollywood Food Coalition, and to some of these other Star Trek or other notable charities, Star Trek or non-Star Trek. So the main objective is just to make it sustainable and to participate in this community and give people something active and fun to be a part of. The second objective is to contribute charitably. I lost my chain of thought, but
I think you just basically hit every bullet point on my list, though.
oh, did I?
Yeah, go read it. Go read it, because I think you just basically. But yeah, because the other beautiful thing about Patreon and other forms of fundraising that the Voyager documentary's done it, other podcasts, other streaming shows have done, is that everybody gets a chance to be a part of the Shuttlepod Show in some small way or large way, depending. It's about the community, and the community making sure that you guys can put out the best product that you possibly can. Yes, there is I can answer this one. Everybody is just dying for this episode, and I know you guys were going to do it.
We already shot a portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
We shot Connor's "How Did I Become an Actor" on Thursday. Wednesday?
Yeah, Thursday.
Thursday.
It was pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah, the whole football, the acting thing.
Yeah.
It must suck to be as attractive as Connor Trenier.
Oh, I know. It's a terrible burn with great arms. No, it's a terrible burn.
Yeah. Erica's like, oh, it totally sucks to be attractive. I wouldn't know. I've just been.
I was going to say she's got personal experience.
Thank you, guys.
No, you're going to make CM.
And she's going to marry you. So just keep.
Keep in shape. Oh, I'm just joking. I mean, I'm not.
At least that's not happening.
Oh my God. Yeah. See, we were joking earlier about you doing that on the show. See, this is the stuff that people want to see. All the behind the scenes stuff. And you and I were talking before we went on because you were goofing around with your hair, and I'm like, yeah, do it that way.
I don't know what to do with it anymore. It's getting so long. It used to be short.
As long as you don't start doing the bun thing, we'll be okay. Because
I'm all for the bun.
So she's weird.
She better be playing, or else maybe retract that marriage proposal. Because
no, it's more the when he's putting in a little pony, and it's like, oh, it's cute.
Oh well, yeah. It's just when you do the bun thing. But yeah, for anybody that watched your Behind the Pod, which was I think one of the last episodes you did, and for those of you that haven't, here's a spoiler. They have what is he, an editor that's named Shran?
Shran. Our editor, one of the guy who's been with us since the beginning, Shran, very appropriately named.
Yeah. But he what?
Blue underwear.
Trip in his blue underwear. Yeah, there were plenty of episodes where Trip got to run around in his blue underwear.
So many times I've looked at the TV and seen Trip in his underwear, and I'm because Connor's a friend of mine as well. I'm always like, it's Connor again.
No.
I'm a lifelong Trekkie. I grew up being a huge Star Trek fan, so I have this habit of falling asleep to Star Trek. I start on the original series and work my way all the way through to whatever's going on now, and then I go back to all the movies, and then I go back to the beginning. So I fall asleep watching Star Trek. And when we started going with this show, I was rewatching all of Enterprise and making sure that I didn't miss anything. And it was very funny to watch Erica watch Connor.
I mean, right from the get. I mean, right from the very first episode, they established there was going to be underwear.
Yeah.
Oh, Connie, his body is gorgeous. Come on now. This isn't the locker room, sweetheart. Or is it? You have your rosé, Connie, because this conversation's about to get interesting.
Well, I do have it listed for explicit content on YouTube just so I can feel comfortable letting people drop the F-bombs, especially when you're going to invite John Billingsley on your show.
I do that too, getting ready for the movies. Oh, better yet, Nearly Naked Dominic, Sandra B.
That episode, Sandra, that episode was just on here as an icons. It's Sleeping Dogs. It's the one where he and Hoshi and T'Pol end up in the decon chamber at the very end of the episode.
Yeah, all you people sexualizing our friends is no bueno.
Yeah, except it keeps them watching your show, so let's not alienate the fan base.
I'm kidding. Sexualize them all you want.
No, yeah, he's probably being sarcastic.
I know. Listen, Dominic's offering to show his ass on Patreon. I just want to know what level that is.
He really likes to throw that out there.
Dominic wants to show his ass on the show.
He really does, yeah.
We're all like, that's really funny. But we're going to make it a Patreon exclusive, so why don't you just dial back?
Yeah, there you go.
Get weird.
Dominic's ass exclusively on Patreon.
Mm-hmm. It's for like the most exclusive level. I mean, ask Dominic how much he thinks his ass is worth, and that's the Patreon level you can charge.
Warp 5.
That would be a warp 10, I think. Or at least that's what he would tell you.
Wow.
This pie is almost done. What are we going to do?
Pie is so good, I don't know.
You're going to be able to cook through the show when it's done?
I'm not trying to be a pig on the show.
Listen, if this writer, director, producer thing doesn't work out, you could just start selling pies.
Well, I think you should sell pies, no matter what.
She's been talking. She talks. I'll be like, working, doing whatever. I'm living my life, and then I'll get a text from her saying, "Hey, how many pies can you cook in a normal kitchen on any given day?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know, like 8 at a time in a standard oven, probably 3 hours each. Like I don't know, fucking 20 whatever a day."
All right, talk to Dominic because look, somebody's already willing to up their.
Sandra B, if you could swing $25 a month on Patreon, we could get you a stream of incognito secret shots of Dominic's ass.
Really?
Yeah, I would take a picture myself of Dominic's ass when he wasn't looking every time we're on set.
Oh,
and just post it for you or something. That would be hilarious.
Mean with his pants on?
Yeah, with his pants.
I don't think that's what anybody's interested in.
If I ever said, Dominic, will you take your pants off for a second? He'd be like, oh, yeah, sure, of course.
Oh, totally. Yeah, no, I could see him doing that. Didn't he say on one of your shows, though, that somebody did find pictures from one of his earlier days where he was assless, like the assless chaps or something?
Dominic did an assless chaps phase.
Did you not watch your own show when he was talking about one of his early stage performances?
I remember that show.
Yeah, he was in a show.
Yeah, it was just like one of his first stage things, and then he said,
"Help him get his equity card."
Yes.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I found really funny, actually.
Well, you know what was really funny?
I would not have expected that. I don't know.
I knew that for a while, but what was really funny was when we were in Chicago. I was with my Lambda Quadrant group, and we had brought Jackie Cox, who is now a very famous drag queen, and she's a Star Trek drag queen, and she's absolutely gorgeous. And we took her over to talk to somebody who was next to Connor and Dominic, and she's standing there, and I went, somebody else has done drag standing here, and the two of them had a lovely little chat about how Dominic got his equity card in drag, and he said Jackie looked better than he ever could.
You talked about that with John Fleck, right? Didn't he and John Fleck go around and around about all that? Yeah.
Well, John Fleck did some interesting stuff on Sunset, right?
John Fleck has done some incredibly. In fact, it's really interesting.
No, yeah.
John Fleck, who played Silic on Enterprise, has had such a profoundly interesting career outside of Star Trek. that episode alone, a number of people that I have worked with for 15, 20 years in Hollywood were like, John Fleck is on your show? Oh my God, I've been to his house. You would not believe the parties he throws. That's like, really? What he told me. How come all these people knew how awesome John Fleck was? I'm just a Star Trek fan.
I want him on this show. He was amazing.
Oh, he's fantastic. Yeah.
He's so fun to be around.
Yeah. We're really grateful that he came on the show.
Yeah, and he's done so much for his community, which I thought was great.
Yeah, and exactly, yeah.
Those stories were pretty incredible.
And he's so generous with us. And by the way, one of the compliments I'd really like to pay John Fleck is how high he set the bar for our show. Like, what can our show be? What can we talk about? You know, are we going to limit ourselves to some, Star Trek stories, which I realized very early on, a lot of people may have already heard 1,000 times.
Right.
Or, and John was so entertaining and so funny and so honest and like open. And I think he really set the bar high for what we,
right.
what we can do with this platform. And we're really excited about it.
Well, and I mean, honestly, and everybody out there knows this. One of the goals of this show, like having you guys on, actually goes towards it as well. Is that whenever I have somebody on, I don't want to just talk about Star Trek. I want to talk about everything else that's going on in their life to give people a much more well-rounded picture.
She's gonna marry me. That's not Star Trek.
No, see?
She's like, yeah, maybe.
I think the night we met, you said something about wanting to marry her, and she didn't give you a straight answer. So tonight's the night because she actually said yes.
You said yes tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, and then we'll have another. Yes day.
But see, now, Mark, you do realize tomorrow you've got to go to the jewelry store.
Yes, this is the day that we're in, yeah.
Yeah, this is the warm-up for you going to the jewelry store tomorrow and making it official. See,
I'm old school, from the East Coast, Italian.
Right.
What do you want from me?
Well, listen, this is the warm-up. So at some point when you guys are filming an episode of the Shuttlepod Show, he needs to walk out on camera and get down on one knee with a ring.
Sean, you're my new favorite person.
Yeah, I mean.
Thanks, Sean.
That's on it.
That's rad.
Yep, Linda says no matter. That's the thing. There's always something new to discover, even in the old stories.
Yeah. I feel like they could tell the same story again and a lot of new stuff would come out.
Robert brings up a very good point.
How do we know he hasn't already been there? Who's he?
You and jewelry store. How do we know that Mark hasn't already been to the jewelry store?
Robert.
Oh, Robert. You never know.
You never know.
Thanks a lot, Robert.
He clearly hasn't. Hey, look, Sean's got your back. I'm here for you.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it.
Look,
yeah, he's got your back by making sure you make an honest woman out of Erica. That's the.
You're like, make an honest woman out of this.
Look, we actually have a question about the Shuttlepod Show.
Do you think Shuttlepod will do a live stream or a charity stream? Yes, 100%.
Maybe both. Who knows?
Both.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, we've been talking about charity events. We've been talking about live streaming. We've been talking about premiering our interviews while we live chat. And we've been talking about, we are, in fact, and Stephanie has already sort of talked about this on her show here. We are planning a live event for our 1-year anniversary in February.
Don't lay that at you're the one that blew that secret that you told me not to tell anybody.
Well, I can blow it because it's mine.
But that's what I'm saying. Don't lay that on me. You're the one in the chat that mentioned.
Yeah.
We just don't know. They just don't know what it is. Some of us do, but they don't know what.
We're planning on a live event in February, and it's going to involve a bunch of other Star Trek alum. It's going to be in a theater here in Los Angeles. We're trying to make sure that everyone can be involved. Anyone who wants to come can be involved, but we also want to make sure that we are rewarding our Patreon membership, our subscribers, our members, the people who support the show.
Okay, back to the ring thing, because this seems to be the ring.
Back to the ring.
Yeah. That made me laugh, Linda. Thank you very much. We download these comments for later. Like,
ask to see one of her rings and see if it fits on your pinky, then know the size. Okay.
That's a good one.
Well, now I should just bring her to the jewelry store and have her pick it.
No.
You just
No, is that a bad thing?
Yeah, you gotta you still gotta spring it on her.
I don't know stuff about things.
Just, get to know what I like and then go do it.
What kind of stone shape do you like? Let's start with the kind of shape.
Cut.
He knows that, right?
Excellent.
Yeah, I like princess cut. I do like simple ring. I don't need all these, crazy things.
Just like a nice simple band with a really nicely done stone.
Yeah, I like that.
That would look good, I think, on you've got a nice enough hand. I think your hand could pull something off that's very simple. Yeah.
Just model hands.
I've done some hand modeling, actually. I forgot about
It's very embarrassing, but she's a model, so I got to deal with that.
Oh, yeah. It must be terrible for you.
Then surprise her. Yes. It's all on you, Mark. I missed it. You made it go.
See what she has in her jewelry box and go from there.
Have her pick 2 or 3. Oh, these are good ideas.
Yeah, you guys are great.
It doesn't need to run at warp.
Not just for the ring stuff, Stephanie,
yes,
but are you
dilithium crystal ring?
Silver gold or white gold? That's a good one. That's a good question.
Or platinum.
I really need to think about that.
Rick Berman is so very.
Gold. Go ahead.
Silver and gold.
Okay. I think Mark wants out. Mark wants to go back to talking about Star Trek.
I'm happy to talk about marrying her for the rest of
your life.
My life. We can just talk about being married to her.
Aww.
That's very sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Today it's okay.
Are you allowed, Stephanie? May I ask you to download comments to save for later?
The Facebook comments I know will be in Facebook attached to the video. The YouTube comments, the only way to read the live chat is if you actually watch the show again. Like if you watch
and you'll
the
see
show.
It. You don't have a
then the comments will run concurrent with the show.
Well, there's you guys have so many good ideas, right? So it's it's good to know that you can look
Faith
back.
Howell is saying something interesting here.
The what? My husband and I?
Yeah, there it is. Picked my ring that his aunt said it was too cheap and took us back for a do-over. I was mortified enough. You've been wearing the do-over ring for 13 years, or you wore the original ring?
That's
also, were you happy with the do-over, or did you want the original?
And while Faith is answering that, platinum lasts forever. There you go.
Platinum. See, I agree. I think platinum is the way to go.
I mean, I'm a traditionalist too. If anybody ever wanted to give me a ring, I would probably lean towards just basic gold.
You're so cool. Anything would look good.
The do-over ring.
Hey, I'll take it if you don't want it.
The do-over ring?
Yeah.
Support us on Patreon. Send us an engagement ring.
Oh my God. That would be kind of an amazing story.
Oh, there you go.
So speaking of the community support, we're trying to figure out ways to get the support that we need without asking the community for money. Because it feels so, we don't know how to do it the right way. So we created this a wish list on Amazon, the things we need to do the show, like printer ink.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, shit like that. we need a few more lights, and the lights are like whatever. We need some printer ink. There's things that we need that cost.
Where?
Been asking people for money, like if you're so inclined, if you want to support the show, but you don't want to necessarily sign up to like give money annually or monthly or whatever, you buy us ink. Buy us. Like,
where can they go on Amazon? Like, how would they find your wish list?
So if you go to our website, shuttlepodshow.com, there's a button up in the top that says donate. When you click on that, the first option is our Amazon wish list. And if you go on that Amazon wish list, you can buy one of the things that we need. There's a couple of things. Like I said, it's a printer. There's printer ink. There's like a lamp for our set. It's just stuff we need for the show. That if they want to help, and it's easier to do something like that, and then we'll be able to put it on camera and say this printer ink, or this lamp, or this green screen fold out was provided by Rex Carmichael of Cleveland, Ohio, or whatever, and we can thank you that way. And then there's lots of different ways that we want to show our gratitude to the fan support. So getting feedback on how to do this the right way is really important for us. So we're really, like, part of the reason why I was excited to do this show, Stephanie, was to be able to maybe talk a little bit about that kind of stuff.
And that's one of the reasons I told you. That's one of the reasons I invited you here, because I thought people needed to know more about the show besides the fabulousness that is produced and sent out on Sundays, because it takes a lot.
It takes a lot.
Oh.
It's booking the interviews, our location, all the gear, the crew, social media, the community management. We're very grateful. We're starting to get some community management help. I wish that I'd like to run down a list of the names of the people who are helping us right now, but it's kind of in flux, and I don't want to speak too soon. But we have a number of people who have been now helping us with Discord, have been helping us with Patreon, helping us with all of our community management stuff, including you, Stephanie.
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so happy to help. See?
It's a great idea. Oh, that's really good. You could do an
any
Indiegogo for that too, like 7th Rule.
Gee, I wonder where you guys have heard that before.
And yeah, so we're really looking for people to be involved with the show, to help manage the community, to like act as ambassadors between us and the wider community. Because the show is too big for the small group of us to stay on top of the way that we want to stay on top of it, but it's too small to just put into place a big staff to deal with it. So
right. Brand ambassadors are so important. Just people that are willing to retweet and talk at and tag you guys. I mean, that just goes a long way to visibility. The more times that people interact with you and retweet. So brand ambassadorship is so important.
Oh, Christopher, that's a wonderful comment. I like the fan artwork from Ice Skater Tiffany you have had on for the Shuttlepod Show.
She was in the chats before. I hope she's still here.
Yeah, she was here earlier. Tiffany's great. She's actually been on our show. We had her on. She came up to see us. We're going to have her as much as she wants to come and be on the show. All of our artwork. She has done the guest artwork for every guest that we've had.
Yep, she's been there since the beginning.
It's awesome.
She's wonderful. We're very grateful for her to be a part of our group.
And they're really well done. They're really beautiful.
I think you want to know the popularity of your show.
Oh, where are we looking? Oh, okay.
Linda said that. Anderegg? How do we say that, Linda?
Anderegg, I think. I don't know. Yeah.
Look
at all the shout outs for Tiffany.
Oh, Tiffany.
Hi, Tiff.
Tiffany, you get a lot of great comments about your ice skating.
Yeah.
On set.
Dominic even was like, have you seen Tiffany's ice skating? He's like, she's a real figure skater. We're like, yes. And she's like, well, she said she was a figure skater. And I was like, oh, sure, darling. Well,
that's a really good Dominic.
She was like literally serious. And
Oh my God, he's so funny.
The other day, he's like, she's a real figure
Yeah,
skater.
it was very funny.
It was very cute.
Well, you know, a lot of people have hobbies that are just kind of.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, we forgot to shout out to her about the Walter artwork, and it's like, no, we did it already. We've been posting videos, and it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a video where Eric was picking it up.
Yeah.
That you guys had posted. That was cute.
If you should know that Connor and Dominic are very, very grateful, and they're very mindful to make sure that all of our gratitude is expressed at your talent and your generosity for providing all that artwork.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Do you know how many shows you have on the podcast apps?
How many episodes?
Yeah, he only found 19.
All right. Yeah, we've had 11 guests, and then we've done 3 fan question specials. We did a table read special. So that's 4 more, that's 15. And then we did 3 episodes of Dominic, and I think, or maybe 2 of our guests were 2-parters. Brandon Braga and Rick Berman were 2-parters. So
right.
19. That's about right. Walter Koenig should be the 20th. It's difficult because the number of episodes available on the podcast platforms or on the YouTube page are different than the number of shows we've shot. So it starts to get a little messy, but 19 is right-ish, give or take. Yeah.
Right. So you guys can actually, people can just listen if they want. There are available on audio platforms.
Our video show goes live on Sundays, and then an unedited long version of those episodes are available to Patreon members, as well as some behind the scenes videos and things like that. And then on Tuesday, the audio only version goes available on all of the podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple, Google, Pod this, Pod that, and just about any place that we are familiar with in the world where you can listen to a podcast. We're pretty much on.
Yeah, Dominic has had a very interesting career pre-Enterprise. So, I mean, I know that's why you guys kind of did it, to like introduce him and his life before he became Malcolm Reed.
Yeah.
Personally, my favorite non-Trek thing is probably Desmond's.
Yeah.
For anybody that's interested, that's an amazing show.
That's what he's famous for. Yeah.
Oh, well, he does. I mean, I don't know if you guys have watched it, but that point in the interview where he did an impersonation of the star of the show, Norman, was spot on. Like when he was doing Norman, I'm like, yeah, that's what he sounds like, because I've seen every episode now of Desmond's.
He does an impersonation of Connor that's pretty spot on.
Yes. Well, he's been doing that since the first episode of Enterprise.
And
keep your shirt on, Lieutenant.
Yeah. Keep your shirt on. That's another t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yes, keep your shirt on, Lieutenant. That would be I would buy that.
And Connor and Dominic are both working on an impersonation of me for whatever reason. I don't know what's so impersonatable about me.
I've seen a few people impersonate you.
Why?
Because you're unique.
I don't know about that.
You know what? I haven't known you that long, but I'll agree with her.
Yeah.
How is the Discord connection going to expand? I'm new to Discord, so you'll forgive me if I ask what exactly does that mean? How are we going to engage on Discord? Is that the question?
Yeah, I'm not a Discord person either, so.
Yeah, so one of the things that we've done is some of our Patreon members have been very grateful to give us like tutorials on how Discord works. And one of our very amazing Patreon members, who I won't mention her name now, but hopefully soon she'll be a regular active member of our community, not only gave us a tutorial on how Discord works and how we can most effectively engage with our audience, but showed us how we can reorganize it to better contribute to the conversation that goes on Discord. So on our dry erase board is the rejiggering of, and we have a whole Trello board committed to the rejiggering of our Discord, so that when we launch it, we also have a schedule of community managers and members, and that we sort of have an announcement and all of our news that we have as a show. We've decided that we're going to provide to our Patreon members and our Discord members first. And then from there, we'll go to Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all that. But we, the people who are helping to support the show and keep it going, we're going to give them an exclusive sort of a heads up on all that kind of information.
Offering to lower the Patreon tiers, you have, that's what War Dog was saying when he was clarifying about Discord. But
so yes, we are offering Patreon now. I'm sorry. If you are a member on Patreon, it used to be you had to be like Warp 2 or 3 and higher. Now, if you are, we just changed it. So if you're a Patreon member, you have access to our Discord. That's it doesn't matter what your contribution level is, what your membership level is. If you're a Patreon member, an active Patreon member for our show, you have our Discord access. We set it up and we did it, but there's some issue with it working smoothly. We're not sure what that issue is. We've been communicating with Patreon members through our Patreon messenger backend, just trying to explain what we're going through and the help that we're trying to get. And we're considering hiring a consultant, someone with a lot of Patreon management experience, to try to smooth out both the annual membership issue, which we can't quite seem to iron out with Patreon support, as well as the providing our Discord membership to all level of memberships. There seems to be an issue with that as well. But we're working on it as quickly as we can.
So just so everybody knows, obviously, if you are here and you have not gone to Patreon, you can support my podcast, and you can support Patreon, support Shuttlepod Show as well. So if you're not already doing both, either or both, you can head over. You can look me up under NX7062. You can look them up under Shuttlepod Show. I just signed on to become a patron last week.
I saw it. I actually saw it when your name came up. I was like, oh, look.
I'm finally there.
It's our Steffi.
Aw, you're lucky. I don't let many people call me Steffi, but I'll let you get away with it this one.
Sorry, it's our Madame Stephanie K.
There you go. Stephanie K is better. Yeah, no, I used to, honestly, I used to joke around. I had a couple relatives that I let get away with calling me Steffi. Quick story. I used to work for one of my cousins, a record warehouse back when records were a thing. It was the coolest job I ever had. And, but he was always there bright and early in the morning, and I could always tell the kind of mood he was in by what he called me. If he called me Stephanie, it was going to be a bad day. If he called me Steph, he was in a good mood. But if he called me Steffi, that was the day to ask for special favors, because that was usually something he reserved for family time, not work time. So,
got it.
Yeah. Let's see. I do many Patreon. I get notification that you joined it. Yes, War Dog, you are one of my patrons. I love that. Yeah, no, records aren't still a thing. Records are back. They're not still a thing. They're back.
There is no extra charge for Discord.
Where are we looking?
Sandra B says she's internet illiterate. No, if you're a member of Patreon, you have free access to our Discord. The Discord comes with being a Patreon member. Yeah.
There you go. Vinyl's new again. See, that's better. It's not records are still a thing. It's that whatever's old is new again. Oh, I'm newer than you, Karen. I just became a member last week. You never answered my question, or I missed it. Is that number 10 standing in front of your TARDIS? Because he is my doctor.
Oh.
I love them all, except for Matt Smith, but 10 is my doctor. How's Wash doing back there?
I know. We're just checking on him. He's doing good. We should get a photo of the screen with you, us. And
wait. All right.
Everyone's saying hello.
Wait, I can actually do a screen grab. Yeah? Mark, get your butt back in, and I'll just do a screen grab.
Okay.
All right. Just let me know when you guys are ready. One more for safety. All right, I got it. I'll post it.
Yeah.
Wash is the star of the show. Don't tell Dominic or Connor.
Oh, see, Karen. Yay, Karen! I was right. See, I could tell by the jacket, the Mac he was wearing. 10's my favorite too. Yay, Karen. See, 10 is the best. 10's actually the reason I like Doctor Who.
No idea what we're talking about.
And
we're talking about the Doctor. I see.
yeah, we've switched gears a little bit.
Will there be an annual membership? Yes, annual membership. We built one into our Patreon service when we launched it. But you have to meet certain criteria with Patreon before an annual membership is allowed by Patreon. We met all those requirements, and we received notification from Patreon that we had done so and that it was activated for us, but it's not. So for the last month and a half, we've been trying to solve that problem. Annual memberships and access to Discord for all members are the two issues that we know that we have with Patreon right now and that we're working to resolve.
Listen, I get it, War Dog. I like Tom Baker too, and Tom Baker was actually part of the 50th anniversary special with Matt Smith and David Tennant.
Oh, hey, it's Jeff DeRhodes. Hi,
Where?
Jeff. I recognize you from Twitter.
Oh, there you go.
Is it Twitter? I think you're always the first person to like our tweets.
Where is it?
Jeff DeRhodes.
Oh,
right here.
yeah.
He's the one that asked about the annual membership.
Yeah. I recognize his little icon.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. You use your little icon across the board, and then everybody recognizes.
Well, I gotta say, it's been really fun to. I have read literally every comment and question that has been posted on YouTube, Patreon, Discord, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, our website, and blah, blah, blah. I have spent, and you can ask Erica this, I have spent an ungodly amount of time trying to stay on top of the community for our show and understand what everyone wants, what people are interested in, what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong, how we can be more interesting. Very, very often Erica will have to remind me that dinner needs to be eaten. It's fun to recognize some of these people like what's her face from I've recognized a couple of people here tonight.
Well, yeah, like I said, you brought the crowd.
Huh?
You brought the crowd. Everybody wants to hear the.
Did we bring the crowd? This isn't your crowd. This is our crowd. How many people?
You know what? Some of it's my crowd. We have crossover crowd though.
Crossover crowd.
We have crossover crowd.
So, does anyone have any questions about the show or for us or
what kind of ring you decided to get her or when's the date? Somebody wanted to know earlier if they were going to be invited.
We can stream it live.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, shit.
They asked that.
We can our wedding or the proposal?
Well,
The
I mean, the proposal. I don't want to know. I was talking about.
That's what I say. Proposals complicated. We can't do that.
Ha ha, Lasso.
You went to Jared. No, that's not true. Hold on.
Stephanie, thanks for inspiring me to get this hat back on tonight.
Oh, you're very welcome. That was another conversation we had earlier. Erica was wearing a hat. I'm like, well, if you're gonna wear a hat, I'll wear my hat. And then we show up for the pre-show, and she's not wearing a hat. So
next time we're on your show, I'll make sure I have one of your hats on.
Oh, there you go. I would love that.
That'd be cool.
And what is that? Because all I see is glare. Oh, that's perfect. Oh my God! And look where you're looking.
Look.
Excellent.
Don't look.
I didn't look. Also, there's another screen right here. You're lucky I was just.
Stop. Oh shit! Don't look. We have multiple screens here, and this one right here is on a lag. Don't look.
That was hysterical.
Faith, that is hysterical. Thank you for that. I'm just supposed to do an interview show.
I'm happy to be interviewed when the time comes. Thanks for asking.
You know what you should do is you should get either Connor or Dominic to get like one of those online ordinations so they can perform the ceremony. Like
so the showman in me was like, our wedding should be live on the show. But the man who loves this woman felt terrible for making a spectacle of her wedding. So I would be happy to do anything she wants to do. If she wants our wedding, should she say yes, which I seriously doubt, I would be happy to. If she wants to do it live for our show, that would be fine. If she wants to do it all privately, like Britney Spears, that would be fine too.
Well, can I just tell you that Creation for the last couple of years, I don't think they did it this year, but this year was kind of off. You can have a Star Trek wedding at Star Trek Las Vegas, and if you put in enough money, because they have packages, but one of the higher end packages will let you have a Star Trek actor marry you.
Thank you, Linda.
Where?
She says, good answer, Mark.
Good answer. That was a good answer.
And Christopher, it is fascinating that so many Star Trek actors have been more interactive with the fans throughout the pandemic, like the Seventh Rule of Delta Flyers, Gates McFadden podcast, Alan Center City Social Club. I think it's great. There are a number of silver linings that came out of the terrible pandemic, and one of them is connectivity between us, like how to the realization that it's a lot easier than we assumed to interact with each other.
Well, and I think too that's kind of where Enterprise got its second wind, was the rewatching, because it was available and people just started rewatching it and falling in love with it.
Faith Howell, yes, you can have a Star Trek actor marry you.
Yes, at Star Trek Las Vegas.
Wed you, not marry. Wed you.
I thought I was reading it the other way. I was like,
not be your
significant other. Don't be filing for divorce. No, no, you can actually have, they have different packages, and one of the higher end packages is having a Star Trek officiant marry you. I know.
Well, we should start a thing where if you want to get married and you're a fan, you can get married on our show, and Dominic or Connor or Erica will be the or me, if you prefer the hilarious fat guy, to do it, can be.
To what? To get married to you, or marry you?
Anderegg, are you Danish, Linda, or is that Swedish or Norwegian? Anderegg.
That's a good question.
Danish. That's very. Linda has got all the inappropriate comments tonight.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. See, it's all interconnected, is what War Dog's saying, and I love that.
Well,
I love that. The answer to is Connor available depends on what you want him for. If you want him to marry you to somebody else, yeah. If you want him to marry you to somebody else, maybe. If you want him to marry you, probably not.
I think I can go ahead and just say it on your show, Stephanie.
Go ahead.
If you want to get married on our show, and you want your officiant to be one of us or a guest, a Star Trek alum or something, we would be more than happy to put that together.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
French Swiss. That's cool. I just said French.
Oh, I'm French-ish.
Tu parles français ou non?
No français, blah,
Just,
blah.
un petit peu.
Un petit peu. Just Deutsch for you, Mark?
German.
Yeah.
And sono la tua puttana.
That's the only sentence.
That's the only Italian I know.
I was going to say that.
We're trying to learn Italian.
We're learning Italian right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a top Patreon perk. Get married on their show.
Yeah, that could be a part of the Patreon.
Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of people might want to do it. We might have a
flight and hotel not included.
No, Not included. Not yet. It depends on the.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. But yeah, if you want to get your butt out to LA and get married, that would be a great show. I don't think anybody in Star Trek history of podcasting has ever done that, so that would be a great show.
That would be
Oh, we could be the first Star Trek podcast marriage.
That would be interesting. Now my mind's like thinking about where we would have the show. I guess we're
What, for our wedding?
no, for someone else's wedding. Would they just come to the set wherever we were?
Yeah, sure. You guys could. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You guys have a pretty much of a blank slate of a set, right? So you could dress it up.
Or we could, or if they were here, we could go to them. If they had like a big wedding going on.
I mean,
That would depend on how much they wanted to.
for us to go to you,
I like crashing weddings.
go to your wedding, but we would.
I've crashed one by not by accident. I've crashed one.
You've only crashed one wedding.
Yeah.
That's it.
Why, you crashed more?
Everyone's crashed more than one wedding.
No, I've never crashed a wedding.
Never
See?
crashed a. Oh.
Okay.
Next time I'm in LA, let's go find a wedding to crash. How's that?
Yeah, that's super fun because people are like, "How do you know them?" And you're like,
Oh, well, you know what? In college,
I've only crashed one wedding. To me, sounds ridiculous.
no, you just like, oh, I knew them in college, and then and just that's what I would say.
She's like, I was previously engaged to the groom. I'm just here for the hors d'oeuvres.
that would be a great funny.
That would be
answer.
hilarious. That would make me laugh.
Oh my god! I wonder if anyone had a Star Trek themed wedding.
Oh, cake. Speaking of cake, I'm literally not eating cake right now. The reason I had a slice of pie is because this magnificent human being got me a birthday cake. And it is in the kitchen right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, if this cake's just gonna sit here, I'm gonna eat it during the show. And she's like, you are not. We're going to Venice tonight, and we're gonna put a candle in it. I was like, okay.
All
I
right,
even have the candle in my car.
You already have the candle. See?
vow renewal, same thing. I'd say yes. You guys would do a vow
Oh
renewal.
my God, vow renewal. That would be that's almost more magical because there's something really magical about the newness of a marriage, but there's something more magical about renewing your vow after so long.
Oh
After such a
my
long time.
god.
My parents did a vow renewal.
Oh, you're looking at Star Trek weddings?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my friend, he didn't have a Star Trek wedding because his wife wasn't a fan, but
He would.
when they got done and they walked back up the aisle, the string quartet played Star Trek music.
This is amazing. These just Google images have very.
There have been Klingon weddings, Star Trek weddings.
I'll text you if you.
Wedding cake is worse. I quit drinking 39 years ago. Congratulations, War Dog. It ain't as fun to crash a wedding if you aren't drunk.
Somebody asked what flavor there it is. What flavor birthday cake?
The food is.
Birthday cake is some kind of amazing chocolate. I can just tell that it's ungodly.
We'll take a photo of it.
Wedding cake is as far as bad. I quit drinking. I was surprised how entertained I was by just reading of an episode.
Oh, you missed that. I had that on the screen. Hold on.
Oh, Christopher Collins. Oh, you're talking about the Shuttlepod 1 episode we did the reading for. Yeah. That was really fun. We enjoyed doing that. It was an experiment for us. We were just like, let's just see how you guys feel about sitting at a table on camera.
I mean, what I loved about it was the unedited version because you got that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Because they did that on the Star Trek cruise that I went on. They did a reenactment of Amok Time, and I've seen Amok Time so many. It's my favorite original series episode, so I know it from beginning to end. But there were lines and things. I'm like, oh my god, this is like the unedited script. So that's kind of cool because you get to hear the things that you didn't see.
I had a Fatal Frame themed wedding. All my girls knew, but my husband still has no idea.
Hold on.
Erica or Mark,
Yes.
can you please pass on a comment to Dominic during the table read of Shuttlepod 1? Aw. Yeah, it was actually, for those of us, Erica was in the room. It was an emotional thing when when we read that episode.
Yeah, it was.
That's actually because that's the first thing we did for the show. We did a test episode, which is what the behind the scenes was.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes thing.
Oh, right, yeah.
Most of that was from the test episode that we did, trying to figure out what we were doing and how we would do it.
Let's take a little photo of the comment.
Oh. Oh, she's taking a picture. That's great.
That's
really funny.
It.
The table read was one of the first things we did, and it felt so right in the room that we knew we were onto something, and we knew that we had to keep doing it. That we were having fun doing it, and as long as we were having fun, it would be worth the effort. So anyone who says that they like the table read, we're really excited because
I think I was and I remember this because you actually caught it, or whoever's YouTube commenting for you at the time caught it. I was the first person like, this was so cool because I got to hear stuff that wasn't in the episode.
Oh, you were one of our first.
That was me. Yeah, that was me. I'm the one. Yeah, that was me. I was like,
she's been stalking us since the very beginning.
Aww.
Supporting
us since the very beginning.
Of course.
There's speaking of our table read, we're this live event that we're putting together in February. We are hoping, and don't hold us to it, but our plan is to announce that we want to do a live table read of another Star Trek script and include a number of other Star Trek actors to play those roles. We also are hoping to have a fan or two participate by being on stage in a live theater with us, doing the read, playing a role or two. And it's going to be a live theater event. We're going to have a full theater of fans and people. And we're going to do a table read, and then we're going to do a live. Our hope is to do a live episode. It's either going to be a live episode or some sort of panel with all the Star Trek actors that we have.
Everybody's okay. So I just want to put this up here because you and I talked about this because I had heard this and it's true. Okay, pineapple filling. Malcolm Reed likes pineapple. But guess who doesn't like pineapple?
I know who doesn't like pineapple.
Dominic doesn't like pineapple.
Does not like pineapple.
So anybody that's thinking it would be cute if you ever met him in person to bring him a little piece of pineapple something, don't
do it.
Don't.
He won't like it.
Yeah.
In real life, he'll appreciate the gesture because he's polite. But in real life, he doesn't like pineapple. So.
Yeah. When I first
bring him a hunk of tofu, what would he like?
Dominic?
A hunk of tofu?
A glass of something. No.
Oh yeah, smushy peas.
Smushy peas.
I love mushy peas. Oh my God. Gordon Ramsay makes the best.
Yeah, I'm gonna mushy peas, darling.
Oh my God, I love mushy peas. I do. Gordon Ramsay. When you order fish and chips at Gordon Ramsay, it comes with a little side of mushy peas. It's so good.
Oh.
It's so good.
Oh, by the way, we got so much. Connor Trenier, you know who Connor is, right, Stephanie?
I might have heard the name before somewhere.
He posted a photo on the first day of our second season on set, and there was a whole sort of conversation about. It looks like he's hosting a cooking show. And it seems so much fun that I think for our Patreon members, we're going to do a cooking show where Connor teaches us how to make blackened catfish.
I was going to say, it's got to be catfish and pecan pie.
Pecan pie, maybe key lime pie.
Love key lime pie.
Yeah, but like awesome real key lime pie.
Like flying down to the Keys to get the limes for the pie.
Yeah, that would probably do it in Key West.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So.
Well, if you guys are in Key West, that would give me. Give me an excuse to head down there. I've never been.
It's so great.
Yeah, I have a friend that used to go down there every year between Christmas and New Year's to go scuba diving. In fact, Rod Roddenberry is a scuba diver. We were talking about that on the show last week.
Very cool. Have you scuba dived?
I did once in a pool at Penn State. They were offering, like, my ex, the one that goes to Key West all the time when we were dating, he's like, no, you gotta try scuba diving. They do this discover diving thing at the pool. So I've only ever been in scuba gear or any type of scuba gear in a pool. Definitely not the same. Definitely not the same.
Yeah, not the same.
But can I just tell you, I don't know if I've ever told this. When I was doing the rewatch in 2016 of Enterprise, it's the first time I'd watched it since the original. I didn't remember a lot, and we got to Silent Enemy, and they were talking about, Malcolm's favorite food and blah blah blah, and Hoshi gets to the part where Fox is explaining this whole allergy thing to her. I got hysterical because I love pineapple too, and I am actually technically allergic to it, and I eat it anyway. So I just thought that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't. It's not like a severe reaction. It's not life threatening, but I do have a small reaction. But and it's only fresh pineapple because it's that acid or that enzyme or whatever that's in the fresh pineapple. It doesn't agree with me. So, but I eat it anyway. So I felt Malcolm's pain. I'm like, I would have done the same thing, just to have my pineapple.
You should have played Reed.
Nobody called.
Yeah,
and I didn't. That little three sentence thing, I didn't fit any of it. So what was it? Stiff upper lip Brit, shy around women. I think was like the entire
upper lip Brit, shy around women.
Yeah,
the character description.
Mm-hmm.
Dominic went in to read for
Malcolm. Yeah, I was none of the. God, I was only.
I'm sorry, Stephanie. I don't mean to interrupt you, but your green screen has been falling since the beginning.
This little corner up here.
Oh, yeah. It's,
you know what's funny? I didn't know.
It drives me crazy. The producer in me wants to stop everything and fix it.
I know. It's just like hold on. I'm just afraid if I try to fix it, what I'm going to end up doing is making it worse. Oh,
there it is. Don't
feel better.
Oh, that's so almost
close.
Perfect. Yeah, just it's good.
Okay.
Maybe put your camera down just to see hair.
Oh my
God. Whoa.
Oh, there you go. Oh, see?
You feel better now?
Producer in your corner, Stephanie.
You
need a producer in your corner.
This whole thing, this isn't even straight across. This is actually arced around, so it's.
Oh, it's fancy.
It's fancy. Wait. Okay. Yeah, here we go.
Aww.
Oh.
Yeah. Look, we got exclusives.
Thank you for saying thank you.
We're happy to come back whenever you guys are interested in there. There are 2 lights. What is
Listen, we got exclusives because nowhere else were you guys going to find out about that live Shuttlepod Show reading that I was sworn to secrecy about. So.
Yeah. And no one can talk about it because we're still putting it together. We're telling you guys because
don't talk about it.
But
don't talk.
We're working it out.
First rule of the NX 7062 podcast: don't talk about the NX 62 podcast.
Linda Park. We're working on Linda Park. Connor has reached out to her. We'll see what happens.
Sorry about that. If anyone heard my neck cracking.
That's okay. Well, I mean, we've been at this for a while. You're allowed to crack your neck.
There are 4 lights.
Stephanie, I think you have the same nails as me. I keep looking at your hand and thinking it's mine for a moment.
They're black. It's black cherry nail polish.
Okay, I know black cherry. This is Lincoln Park.
Okay, yeah, they are close. I was just in the mood for like a really dark purple.
OPI. Yeah.
Yes, OPI. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a brand nail polish.
Okay.
I love OPI.
Yeah.
I love Erica.
I love Park and OPI.
When Christmas rolls around, they have that smitten. What is it? The red one, like smitten with mittens or something. It's really like a red glitter one.
Yeah, they have good names.
They do. They had that whole Muppet line. They had a whole line of one named after Muppets.
They have a Star Trek line.
Grey's Anatomy. I didn't even know that show was still on.
Yep, it is.
Good Lord.
Oh yeah, it's still on. Yeah, well, it would be great to see Linda. She's amazing. I would love to see her too.
I think we have to lose the very, very, very amazing and beautiful Erica LaRose.
Yes, I have a 9 p.m. call.
So she's got to meander. But I'll stick around with you as long as you want me, Stephanie. You are my plan for the evening.
Aw. And Erica, thank you for fitting us in because I know you've been busy and you weren't sure.
The transition from film to digital from his
Okay, well,
techie question
for now, and yeah, if I can sneak in and say another goodbye, then I will.
And you're welcome back anytime. And while you're gone, we're going to help Mark pick out a ring.
That'll be funny. I'll knock before I come back. Thank you, fans and everyone. I would list all your names, but it's a lot. Thanks, Karen. You guys have been really fun, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and we'll be back. We're gonna figure out lots of ways to do this, to as much as possible have conversations with all of you and invite you into our.
You know this is what can happen.
Wash is going to keep you company now. He's definitely looking better than that picture you posted a couple days ago. That repotting really, really worked.
Awesome.
Sure.
All right.
Don't stay gone too long. He might ask Wash to marry him next.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's into Wash. Bye.
All right. So, film to digital. That was the question.
Can Mark talk about the transition from film to digital? That's a really big conversation. I will say I'm old enough to have gone through film school. I thought I shot my student films on film. I had 2 films play at Sundance when I was 21 years old, and they were both on 35 millimeter. My first feature was done on film. So switching to digital was happening. Sony released an HD cam right around the time I was graduating film school, and Collateral, that Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx film, was released right around that time. It was the first movie shot on HD. It was an incredibly difficult transition for people who had spent their whole careers on film. The difference between film and digital is film, you have to know what you're doing and get it right when you're rolling the camera. On digital, you can just press record and do it 700 times because you're not rolling through physical film stock, and that physical film stock digital space doesn't really cost anything, and then you don't have to process digital space. So like there's a whole, it was hard. And I know that Enterprise shot on 35, but I think it transitioned to HD in its last season.
Yeah, third season or last season.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it's weird. I'm one of those people who grew up analog, and then the switch happened just as I was entering the workforce. So it was sort of awkward for me, and it remains a little awkward. But now we're doing everything digitally, and now it would be weird to shoot on film. There's something really magical about film, but there's also, you don't have as much opportunity to get it right, to experiment and do new things. You kind of have to plan on what you're doing and get it and nail it how you're trying to do it. You don't get to experiment.
Do you think from just like a stress level and a creativity level, digital makes it easier because you don't have to worry about the film? Do you think it makes it a little easier to take those risks because you don't have to worry that, oh my God, what if I waste all this film?
Digital makes it easy because the budgetary stress load goes away.
Right.
You're less concerned with the mileage of film stock you're rolling. You can just press record and do things all day. So that goes away, and it's easier for actors to not feel the stress of not getting it right when the camera's rolling. Like now they can kind of feel it out and they can explore different performances and that kind of thing. And sometimes that's good for each other.
Especially for people that are notorious about not learning their lines. Connor.
There's, I never said that.
I think he's
notorious for it. But he's charismatic, so he gets away with it. Or as Dominic would say, he never took the craft seriously. There's the one of the upsides is that you can experiment. You've got a lot of opportunity to fool around with it, and the downside is, without parameters, I think some of the magic of creative necessity goes away when you're not constrained. Right. So you get a little, you lose a little.
Okay, so speaking of creativity, how long does it take to create an episode?
That's really good. That's a really good question. We're actually trying to put that together right now in sort of behind the scenes sort of documentary series. Put out little short videos of what we're doing behind the scenes every day to make the show happen. If you take out the amount of time that it takes to contact and lure a guest in, if you just assume that's going to take a few days, 3, 4, 5 days, and it takes about 2 weeks to put an episode together, and it takes about a week to post on it and to put together the promotionals. It's about to turn into 2 weeks because we're really expanding how we promote the show and the amount of material that we make available to our fans. We want to put a lot more little short clips out for everyone so that these fun, amazing moments that are happening behind the scenes or that are happening on set or even in the interviews themselves between Erica and Connor and Dominic and our guest can be out there for everyone to enjoy and laugh at and see and all that. So yeah, probably about 4 or 5 weeks per episode. But it also overlaps with other episodes.
That's why you do 2 a week so that you can always.
Yeah, we're shooting Andy Robinson on Wednesday, and then we're shooting Nikki DeBoer on Thursday.
So what? He's an avocado plant, isn't he?
Avocado. Wash is an avocado tree. Yes.
All right.
Wash is an avocado tree that I propagated during the pandemic. So it's a little ironic that he is, or she is a little blighty at the moment, a little, pandemic-y.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't be fooled by the laziness of the leaves. When the sun is out, these leaves kind of stand up a bit. So it's a little droopy now because of it's dark.
Okay. One thing the character of Hoshi did on Enterprise was show how important the communications and translator was. It was not clear on Uhura's job in the original. Yeah, because the universal translator had been perfected. So that's one of the things I've always loved about Enterprise was that it was raw. You got to see a lot of, I've always felt that Star Trek, the original series and everything that came after it up until Enterprise was always a little too spit and polish. I've always liked the rawness of Enterprise, the whole stumbling out into space for the first time.
You hit it right on the head, Stephanie. And I also think that that's one of the things that excited me about Enterprise as a concept. When the show was announced and coming out and shooting, I was excited because, we got to see all the things that led to, the Federation, to the Western that was the original series, and then the sort of more modern, fine-tuned, polished version of the Federation that was the Next Generation. It was nice to see a show about humanity sort of groping its way out into space.
Yeah, and I liked honestly how we didn't like the Vulcans right away.
Yeah, that is really fun. And, Gary Graham, Ambassadors of All, he's another very long time personal friend of mine. I've known him for the better part of the last 15 years, and it's been I love his interpretation of Vulcans, and he actually, in the interview with him on our show, he talks about that, his conversation with Rick Berman and trying to understand Vulcans and how to place a ball.
Yeah, because he never even knew how to do it. They're like, "Hey, here's a part," and he's like, "What's a Vulcan?" Yeah, I always love that. It's like, put these ears on, and so Slack wants to know if Wash has a best side for the camera.
Yeah, that's it. You're looking at it. That his best the opposite of his best side is not an attractive angle, so we're gonna leave it here.
I'd like to like avocados, but I don't.
Oh, because avocados are amazing.
Is he ever gonna bear fruit, or?
Oh, maybe in like 20 years.
Oh wow, it takes that long.
Oh, it takes forever with these things.
We're
talking about moving to Sicily, so this little tree is going to come with us, and I'm going to plant it in our yard.
Aww.
It grows well in Sicily.
All right, not until your podcast. I never realized that Shuttlepod 1 was meant to be low budget bottle episode.
Oh yeah, yep.
Oh yeah, the whole cold thing. That was those are some great stories that the guys tell about having to drink tea and it was never cold enough and nobody could see their breath. Yep.
Yeah, and part of the reason that it was stretched at that moment is because they blew their they came in with a big bang. The first couple of episodes were really expensive, and then also Star Trek Generations was shooting.
Oh, the movie, yeah.
So the Next Generation crew was in the stage next door shooting the movie, and yeah, there was a lot of Star Trek happening at the moment. There's a lot of money being spent on it, so that's my favorite.
It wasn't Generations. It wasn't Generations. It would have had to have been Nemesis.
Was it Nemesis?
Well, maybe because First Contact. I always say First Contact. Enterprise is the sequel to First Contact. So if First Contact came out before Enterprise, and then it was Nemesis.
Oh yes, you're right. You're exactly correct. Yeah,
it was Nemesis. Let's see. Denise G says, "There you go." I'm all about the conversations and giving convention experiences to fans that might not be able to make them.
Our show, Shuttlepod Show.
I'm assuming, because
Is that what you mean, Denise? Thank you, if that's what you mean.
Okay, so Sandra wants to know if you're going to see more of Dominic's white sofa. I don't understand how anybody can own a white sofa, by the way. I really don't. Unless he never sits on it, I don't understand how anybody can own a white sofa.
I think you just drove the case home. I think you just realized the secret. You figured out the secret ingredients in the secret sauce is that I don't think he ever sits on it.
Yeah, there you go. I'll have to ask him next time I see him.
Yeah. Dominic's house is beautiful. It's so chic and minimalist and slender in its design, and it's like a 1960s masterpiece. It's really beautiful.
He's got a pool, doesn't he? I thought I heard somewhere.
Yeah, he's got a pool. Yeah.
Nice. Like, so total like Hollywood.
It's
feel.
I mean, we all live in Hollywood here, so.
Yeah, but I think some houses have more of a classic Hollywood feel than others.
Yes, some houses have that Frank Sinatra thing going on.
Yeah, there you go. All right. This season we never got like the idea of more stories between Archer and Sir. Yeah, because they were taught that their whole point, because I remember from the interviews, was to end the show with the building of the Federation. So, and the Andorians were a part of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Shran becoming the captain of a ship was something people were talking about. I don't know if that's just a rumor or if something was real.
Oh, let's see. Looking closely at some of the stills from the original show, all the controls had what appeared to be just numbers across buttons. Original TOS, original. I'm assuming when you say original show, you mean TOS. But if you could expand on that, Sean, that would be great. All right, Wardo, with a name like Wash, I have to know who is the brown coat. Oh, ha, ha.
That would be me. I'm a huge Firefly fan. And the rumors of the Firefly coming back right now are really exciting for me.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I loved Firefly.
Actually, the name Wash, we held a naming contest for some of you might remember this. One of the first things we did as a show was hold a naming contest for our tree, for our avocado tree. And somebody on YouTube, I think, I forget, we have the name written down somewhere, but on our list of people to remember always. But somebody suggested that we name our tree Wash because if you remember Wash from Firefly, he had that saying. Whenever he would be flying in a stressful situation,
I'm a leaf.
I'm a leaf on the wind.
Yeah. I met Alan Tudyk with a friend of mine, and my friend was the one that was getting his autograph.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He had to have 2 tables worth because he had so many pictures from every stinking thing he's ever done. So Evan walked up to him with one of his fireflies, and because it was a firefly, that's what he signed it. I'm a leaf on the wind. I was like, oh my God.
I'm a leaf on the wind.
I'm a leaf on the wind.
I hope I don't spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. That's the last thing that Wash says.
Which made me want to cry.
Yeah. Me too.
You killed him. This is trip level shit when you killed Wash. It is trip level stuff to have killed Wash in the episode. The theme is in my top 5. Firefly theme is in my top 5. Can't take the sky from me. Yeah.
Sky from me.
It's in my top 5. I think everybody else out there can guess what's the top one. Okay, so Chris, I thought it was odd how emotional vocal in that aspect I found off-putting. I didn't find them emotional.
I really liked it. They were emotional. I disagree with you there, Stephanie. I think that they were more than any Star Trek content up to that moment. Combating with themselves to keep their emotions in check. Now, I know, like Star Trek V, there was the whole thing, and
Cybok that we don't talk about.
In the original series, when he goes back to fight Kirk to the death and all that stuff, what is it? A mock time?
That's a mock time. That's my episode.
Time, yeah. So.
Dun, 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 dun. Yep.
They were emotional there, but you saw them struggle with the maintenance of the facade of logic, which I really, really found interesting. And I think that Strange New Worlds is doing a magnificent job of the same concept of showing Vulcans as deeply emotional people.
Which they've never said that they weren't. They just said that they're dangerous when they get that way.
Yeah, I love, and Gary talked about this on our show. Gary Graham talked about this on our show. The idea that Vulcans are deeply, deeply passionate, emotional people who spend all of their time controlling their emotions so that they're not overrun by them. It's fascinating because the best in storytelling, the best drama is when someone is trying desperately to control their emotions, or in a given situation, to build an entire species on that concept is really fascinating.
No, I agree. I love learning more about it. Are you still highlighting fan art? 2010.
Yes.
Yes. There you go. So
yes, we are doing fan art. Our first episode only highlights Tiff's art, if Tiff is still here. But that's only because we haven't had the special occasion sofa, Faith. I think we've all seen those. We are going to be doing fan art. Fan art is a really big thing for us, and it's just another way to get members of the community involved with the show. So
that's right. It's after midnight. It is after midnight. Shuttlepod 1 is on Heroes and Icons right now. It's after midnight here.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, sorry, you missed that one.
Yeah.
Heroes and Icons is a channel, and 6 nights a week it airs the original 5 Star Trek starting at 8 o'clock. So when midnight rolls around, it's Enterprise.
Oh, nice.
So Shuttlepod 1 is on here as an icons right now.
Wonderful. Well, we're missing it.
And we're missing it. Well, you know what, though? Some of us have Paramount Plus. If I want to fall asleep to Shuttlepod 1.
Harper. Hi, Kelly. Kelly has been tremendous help to us as we try to make sure that we integrate the community, that we integrate into the community.
Oh, hey, Kelly.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to set an alarm.
Tell Kelly she missed my proposal to Erica.
Yeah, Kelly, you're just gonna have to go back and watch it later, because YouTube, it's there, or Facebook, it'll be there. I see that Kelly's from Facebook. Oh wait, let's see. Yeah, there's rumors flying around because Jolene, who has been absent from most things Trek for the longest time, showed up last year at Star Trek Day. So her presence at Star Trek Day started a lot of speculation on her now being involved, because by Vulcan standards, she would still be alive.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So,
I think one of the interesting things that is going on in Star Trek right now is that they have taken very seriously what the fans of the last couple of decades love about Star Trek and try to integrate it into what they're doing now. I think that I like the new Star Trek that's been happening since J.J. Abrams, the Kelvin movie with Chris Pine and Zach Quinto. I think what's Carl Urban, who played
Carl Urban was great as Bones.
Bones was just an unbelievable, like DeForest Kelly.
Yeah.
Like no one could have put themselves into DeForest Kelly's shoes the way he nailed it. I really actually like what Star Trek is doing. They're trying to appeal to a new generation without losing its soul, which is a hard thing to do. As someone who's in this business, everything we do has to make enough money for us to pay our bills. Like this is our jobs making
right.
this. So when you think about it in that context, being driven by profit, it's one thing to pessimistically say, oh, you're just driven by profit. But without revenue, none of us can live doing this stuff. All of us have to earn money to survive. So
right.
There's an amount of that just has to happen. And the truly brilliant amongst us are those who can figure out that balancing act between creating the necessary art that really touches people and doing the thing that allows you to generate the income necessary to pay the people necessary to do the thing. So I don't want to go on to a tangent. I have this
you've watched some of my shows. I know that, and I mean the theme of my show is basically tangents.
Oh, yes, it is. I've seen your show. I've seen your show, Stephanie, and it is. You should just call it the Tangent Podcast.
Well, you know what? It's my show. That's the beauty of it.
Yes,
exactly. It's my show. I do what I want. Kelly, absolutely. Let's see. Would there ever be a show or animes? Well, here's the deal. The Section 31 show that they're talking about, which I don't know if it's been mothballed, but they were going to give Michelle Yeoh a Section 31 show, but that would put it strictly post Malcolm Reed, because it would be closer to TOS timelines than Enterprise timeline. So unless Section 31 figured out how to cryogenically preserve somebody and then reanimate them, which, who knows, maybe they have. So, I don't know.
DeForest Kelly was in the first season of The Next Generation.
Yep. Treat her like a lady and she'll always bring you home.
Treat her like a lady and she'll always bring you home. See, I love hanging out with Star Trek fans. You just made my day by pulling that out of your ass. That was amazing.
Oh. Yeah, no, that's one of my favorites. I think that was probably my favorite scene in that first in Encounter
Data, like what a perfect
until I learned the whole Mzadi thing and fell in love with the whole Riker-Roy dynamic. Now when I rewatch it for the first time they see each other and she talks to him and says, "Do you remember? Can you still hear my thoughts?"
Yeah.
That and the DeForest Kelley are those are now my two favorite Encounter and Farpoint.
I don't want to poo on what you love about Star Trek, but as an avid, lifelong, obsessive Star Trek fan, as someone who my career is because of Star Trek, I wanted I have to say, I have always cringed at Star Trek relationships.
Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm an awkward person.
Well, let me ask you this: where did you cut your teeth, on TOS or TNG? Like, what was your first Star Trek?
TOS and TOG almost overlapped.
Okay, well, I was going to say, if you're more of a TOS kind of person, all the relationships were incredibly fleeting. So it might have...
I couldn't understand what was happening. Like in the original series, those relationships were all like, "Hey, I'm a cowboy and I'm..."
Right, yeah.
True. They were all sort of one-offs. But in the Next Generation, they tried to make it a thing. Oh, and I will take it back. Picard. And his falling in love with the piano player, astrophysics lady, the commander. What's her name? Commander... she almost died on the planet with the fire. They put up the shield walls. Geordi was like, blah, blah, blah.
That was a TNG episode?
TNG, where Picard plays his flute and the girl plays...
Inner Light?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like that.
And Dr. Crusher is all like, "Oh, you're having breakfast with him?"
Right.
Yeah, I liked that one. Because I liked the flute.
Okay.
You know, when he spent that lifetime on the planet and the flute. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, no, I am notorious for not being a fan of like the most popular episodes of anything. Like Doctor Who, everybody's like, "Oh my God, the Weeping Angels," and I just I didn't think that Don't Blink was that good. So I am notorious for not liking the most popular episodes. What would you like to see incorporated from Enterprise in Lower Decks? Mike McMahon has said he is going to try and be a little more Enterprise-y. In upcoming episodes. He posted that somewhere on Twitter. He wouldn't be opposed to figuring out how to get Enterprise into Lower Decks. So
I'm very happy with what the Paramount suits have done to propagate Trek, I think is what you're saying. I must admit that SNW is the most nostalgic. SNW.
Strange New Worlds.
Strange New Worlds, thank you. The most nostalgic for... Yes. Oh, and how great are they doing with the Strange New Worlds? Oh
yes.
My God.
Let's see. Relationships are better on less.
Wild West sort of cowboy feeling to it, but it's also like modern and cool and chic, and it's it manages to do what the original series did but it also leaves a lot of the camp behind. I think it's magnificent. I am really excited about Breaking Worlds. I'm having fun. I'm only 2 episodes in.
Oh my God, hurry up. Yeah, it's amazing.
I love it. Yeah.
How did you come up with the great trivia questions?
Oh, I actually am not allowed to be a part of constructing the trivia segments on the show because it's me versus Connor, Dominic, and the guest. So Chris, our producer director, Chris Moxatello, and Erica put together all the trivia. So first time I hear it is when we're on set, when we're playing the game. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is so awesome, Karen, that you had somebody to... TOS was mine too. It was reruns. I'm not old enough to have seen it in the original run, but I was all about the reruns as Trek when I was growing up. It's not the Inner Light. Then which episode was it? Because I thought the flute thing was in the Inner Light. But I have always said I am terrible with titles. Enterprise is probably the one that I'm really good with titles, just because I've been watching it so much lately. Original series, Next Generation. See, I mean, Trek brings people in. See, Next Gen. People it's amazing. Those angels now we're back to Doctor Who. Those angels gave my younger daughter nightmares.
Yes, I know. The cement angel, the statue angels?
Yes, the ones, don't blink. Like I said, but honestly, I will be honest, part of the reason that I might not be a fan of Blink or Don't Blink is because I don't like Martha. So that was my least favorite. Those were my least favorite seasons of David Tennant was when he was with Martha. So that might be a reason why I'm not a huge Angel fan. I will say that the Angels Take Manhattan with Matt Smith and River and the Ponds, that I liked because the Statue of Liberty turned into an angel, and I thought that was freaking awesome. Oh, there you go. You'll love the last episode of Strange New Worlds. I got to go back. I'm like hitting all over the place, but I want to hit as many people as I can. Yes, exactly. The fans, they listened to the fans and gave those guys their own show from Discovery. The line in lower... Wait, hold on a second. The line in Lower Decks about that guy is at Kirk's... Yes, Trip Tucker Sprinkles was like... This was the first Enterprise reference. I think it was like they went 5 episodes in before they even got to making an Enterprise reference.
Sprinkles, that's cute.
Yeah.
So Connor, I've known Connor a long time. He eats that shit up. I don't want to tell him that. He'll be all like, I'm really attractive. And it's like, Connor, we all get it. You're attractive. We don't need that.
Silence in the Library. Silence in the Library was a great Doctor Who episode. And anything with River. I'm all about anything with River. Song. My brother-in-law is terrified of the Weeping Angels for Christmas one year. Oh my God, that's so funny. Do you watch Doctor Who? We've all gone off on this.
Oh yeah. I've watched a huge swath of Doctor Who. I haven't watched the 80 seasons of it, but I've seen 100 episodes probably. And Chris Moschitello, our producing, one of our producers on the show, the guy who directs the stage for our episodes of Shuttlepod Show. He's the one who sat me down and made me watch it.
Good for him.
Years ago, yeah.
Mary
artist in his living room.
Oh my God, River Song is the best, absolutely. And I got a chance to meet her at Rhode Island Comic Con.
Oh, River Song, isn't that Yeah, we're talking about Firefly again. Yeah.
No, that's the other. River Song is a character in Doctor Who played by Alex Kingston, and she's amazing. Sorry. All right, lessons. Thanks, Robert. Let's see.
Connor may be attractive, but Dominic is downright sexy. Oh, Sandra, listen to you. Connor's a pretty good looking fella, but Linda and Julian are much prettier. Oh, yeah, I suppose that's what you're into.
Everybody's got their preferences.
Everyone's got their preferences. Mine is producer Erica.
Yeah, exactly. Producer Erica, and look at that. You know what? If she sits down and watches the end of this, she'll see that you don't just say those nice things just because she's shitting in the chair next to you.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But that ring was really thumbs up. Thumbs up. That's what you should do. You should bring her over on this side. Did you ever watch Sex in the City?
Me, no.
Oh no, because there was a whole thing about rings and Tiffany's and stuff on Sex in the City.
Nope. Not my jam.
That's okay.
If they had Star Trek Sex in the City, then I would probably watch it.
Enterprise references in Lower Decks. I swear it's season 1. I think episode 5 is the Trip Tucker Sprinkles episode. I thought that the pineapple in the captain's office was an Enterprise reference, but I actually asked Mike McMahon on Twitter, and Mike said no, said it wasn't. Yes, you did, Robert. We did meet at Rhode Island Comic Con. I met you, I hung out with John Glover, and I met Alex Kingston. Those were my 3 highlights of my a day and a half at Rhode Island Comic Con. Now that I just completely lost my train of thought. Oh, Lower Decks. There was my least favorite episode, and Mark and I have talked about this. My least favorite episode, one of my least favorite episodes of Enterprise, is Precious Cargo. But there was a very quick Precious Cargo reference in one of the episodes of Lower Decks where they said something about finding a princess in a cryo tube or something, and I went, ugh, of all the episodes, you had to go with Precious Cargo.
Well, yeah, whatever. That's not a good episode.
Oh, that's true. Riker's there was a Riker. Thank you. It wasn't to the. It was. He came back. I don't remember him referencing the song as much as I remember Riker coming back at the end of that episode and saying something about the holodeck and the first Enterprise. If Femke, no. If we're talking Precious Cargo, Femke was in the Perfect Mate episode of TNG. Padma Lakshmi was the princess in Precious Cargo, and honestly, never met the woman, but she's the reason I don't like Precious Cargo.
Oh, Hannah.
She's the reason. Yes, Mike McMahon said he just likes pineapples, and that's why it's in there. I think the one thing he didn't answer, I kind of made the mistake of tweeting a double question at him. I said the pineapples and the bird doctor, and he only answered me about the pineapples. The bird doctor, I swear to God, it's a bird, it's a doctor. I swear to God, John Billingsley and his whole story about trying to play Phlox as a bird. Because...
as a bird.
Right. Well, so they have a bird doctor on Lower Decks, and he's voiced by Paul F. Tompkins. But the first time I heard him speak, he sounded like Billingsley.
Watch our first episode with Shuttlepod Show's first episode with John Billingsley as the guest. It opens, the cold open for the episode is his
squawking,
doing a bird for Phlox.
No,
we found out that it wasn't a bird.
Well, listen, okay. Fortunate Son was just on. I'm not a big fan of Fortunate Son either. But Precious Cargo, most people, I would say, is that because you like the episode or because Trip was running around in his underwear for the last half of it? Oh, does he? Okay. Yeah, see, I don't remember that as much as him saying something about coming back. He's like, walked back on the bridge. He's like, oh, I was just in the holodeck. Yeah, see, he sounds like John Billingsley, which is why I think if I'm wrong about the pineapples, I may not be wrong about the bird doctor, because it's a bird doctor, and Paul F. Tompkins sounds like John Billingsley enough that I checked the credits at the end to see who it was. So those are my personal takes. I just have to tweet at Mike McMahon again. I need to tweet at Mike McMahon to get him on my show. But all right, does anybody, it's after midnight here. I have missed half of Shuttlepod 1, which is appropriate considering who I'm talking to. I'm not going to deny that, but.
Well, I'm happy if anyone has any questions or if you want to talk about anything else, I'm happy to stick around. Otherwise, I'm also happy to say you guys are awesome. We're so grateful.
Yeah, no, thanks everybody for sticking around. I think this might be my longest running episode at this point, because we're about to hit the 2.5 hour mark, which is fine.
Holy shit.
I made the mistake. Erica texted me right before the show, and I made the mistake. She said, how long is it going to be? And I said, as long as it is. It's just when it ends, it ends. Me and my big mouth.
You don't know me. Yeah, you put you and I together, and it'll go on all night.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've discovered this. But you guys, you are. Oh yeah. See, I guess I can't complain about it being 12:30 in the morning because it's 5 a.m. Thank you for coming out, Kelly. We love your support, both of us, because you've started supporting my show. You're supporting the Shuttlepod Show.
Yeah, and in particular, Kelly Harper, we are very, very grateful for your help and for the community that you have built and that you're helping us contribute to. It'll be nice to finally tune this and engage regularly. Right now it's little fits and starts for us.
Engage. Ha, you said engage.
Engage. I do this.
Well, you know what? It wouldn't have been as amazing if you guys hadn't hung out and participated. So
Time to apply, says Denise. That is super spot on.
Yeah, exactly. Since it was about how do we sign up to be considered? Okay, that guys haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, since it was missed before, how do we sign up to be considered to be a part of the table read thing if we do have hits? So right now, we're thinking it's going to have to be a Patreon contest of some kind, or a contribution level or something like that. We're not really sure, but doing a live event is going to be pretty costly. So we want to incentivize as many Star Trek alum as one of the ideas, for example, one of the ideas that we have is when you come to the show, you can choose if you want to be a Vulcan or an Andorian, and we'll have like Star Trek makeup artists putting on full Star Trek episode level, total A+ cosplay makeup on fans, which, you know, is expensive, that kind of stuff. So we're thinking it's going to be a Patreon thing. But
we can talk about makeup artists when this is over too, because I know an amazing one, but he's not LA based.
Yeah. Oh, we need a photographer.
Photographer?
We need a photographer. For various reasons. It's cool. It's not about giving enough money, Tiffany. That's really good. That's like, I'm glad you said that, because it's not about giving money so much as it's about participating in the community. That's part of the reason why we made Discord available to all levels of membership on Patreon, because we're trying to encourage the growth of the community and our integration into the existing community. So it's not about the amount of money in most of these cases. It's about you know, the participation.
Thank you, War Dog.
Okay. Oh, thank you, War Dog. Yes.
I get all the exclusives, it seems like, lately. And Kelly, you're absolutely right. Oh, that's right, Robert.
Yeah, is that you? Yeah. You want to come and say goodbye?
Oh, sure.
We're still here.
Hi, guys. Okay. This is my proper goodbye.
Yeah, we are just getting ready to wrap things up. Guys, thank you so much. Come back anytime. Maybe I'll have to make it an extra or a special early version of the show.
Yeah, I know, it's super fun doing with you.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Obviously, we'll be on whenever you want. We love talking about Star Trek, and we love talking about Shuttlepod Show. And when we premiere on November 27th for season 2, we hope that all of you will be there to live chat with us for the Walter Koenig episode. And it'll be myself and Erica and Chris, our producer, and Dominic and Connor. And we really hope to put on a good show. And Stephanie, we're telling you first. You heard it here first.
There you go.
To have a live tweet fest, chat fest, whatever it is, premiere on YouTube for season 2.
You're always going to get the news first, Stephanie.
News first.
News first.
Yeah.
You weren't even drinking wine like you were when you were chatting a couple weeks ago. So.
Wah, wah.
All right, guys.
8 bottles of wine here right now.
Guys, as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you, Shuttlepod Show, for being here. If you want to support the Shuttlepod Show, if you want to support me, you can find us both on Patreon. Please give what you can. Every little bit helps. Show your love, because, you know, these are labors of love, but unfortunately, we do need a little help every now and then to keep the lights on. And guys, until
art and commerce.
Exactly. And guys, until I see you all again next week, please remember to live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Hey, this is Connor Turner. You've been listening to the NX7062 podcast with Stephanie. Enjoy your evening.